I salute you, sir, Mr. General. It's been ages.
Salute to you, Buntan.
Well, it's been ages. It's been the longest.
I swear. I swear, it's been a long
I know. It's
time.
like seeing ENC, like, I don't know.
I'm fresh there.
Is it? I've been like in the hospital today all day. And no matter 3 injections la technique. You know, I was gonna message you, Nella. Small hair something stupid. I'm on the medication.
What an excuse.
You know, I was gonna say that to you, but I was spoken to what
an excuse.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't want to cancel because it's one of the things you have to come in Facebook Live. It's a hobby, so I feel like doing it. Dina motivate to get up from the sick bed, if you know what I mean. So, which is of course a good thing to do. So, ENC, Manila, Sister Turak Santa, Mawala, welcome to Agies Corner. We want to first time, Matoga Kyo, Watana Kyo on Facebook Live, but come to Mokawahe, Yen Artisiga Hamne, way back la, man Mayan, Amne that rapport, that relationship, Mayo, Dutay, Mawala, Mabayla, New Wa Agies Corner. Since this is your first time, then you take it from there.
I'm gonna do that one precisely. It's a pleasure to be here, man. You do your thing, man. You've been a way back person for someone like me and my generation. So I mean, by default, that would give me a sense of comfort to be on your platform by even trying to ask many questions. You know, so yeah. So I'm pleased to be here.
Thank you very much, ENC. Mota, basically, people do ask me sometimes, how do you get these artists to come to your platform? I'm like, most of them, I don't have to work hard because it only takes me to say, hey, ENC, and then it's hi, Aji, what do you want? And then you take it from there because the relationship has been there for ages ago. ENC, come linko waherek, Hotseat bila, maisila tay tek la sito wutanga. And I will say before we go, thank you very much because megulo suman ligay bi mo heart. When I contacted you, you just responded, and then having to have you here. And I always say, dama de jox artist bo xamne defal na ma lolu nonu jox ma cieur bobu dama la de jox. I don't know, I do appreciate it because of that suma ligay tamit mu easy because sa fancy sa followers they like to indil ma ENC in ENC. It takes them to even go to my inbox. Adi dama la like ki be so na indi wuloko. So which man tamit daf de wache ENC suma ko. ENC just to start, dama feel na come ñun Gambian ni dañ dey follow many artists why xamuñ a little bit of your background. So ñun dañ dey dégg ENC. So dama bëggoon nga wax ñu what is the meaning of ENC and what is your real name?
I mean, ENC is just an abbreviation of Esa and Koli. You know, it's just Esa, and the N is just like and, like when you say R&B.
Okay.
You know? So when I was, you know, our generation of when you want to be an artist, the first tasks become, how am I gonna call myself? Like your name, like my generation, people go collect some crazy names. You know what I'm saying? Because inspired by people like the Bounty Killer, Sizzla Kolongi, King Shango, King of Fire. You know what I'm saying? Like those names are like when you hear them, it sparks some attention. So that's why as a generation you hear boy you body send nicknames be like Bounty, you know, a Buju, a Kolongi, like still up as we speak. You're gonna hear a lot of nicknames of those. Understand? Because that was the generation we come from. But then me coming in, I almost used Esa, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, it's gonna be hard to be recognized with that. Tima, I'm alive, baby. I said, I'll see you soon. Bye bye. This little kid don't wanna leave me. But that is so my name comes in. I just wanted to keep like something that has to do with my real name. So I said, okay, let me use ENC and see how that goes. Yeah. Okay,
I never knew like the N in the middle. I'm forgetting like initial maybe like a name from your dad or your mom or in the middle. But knowing that it just means Ensa and Koli.
And Koli.
That's weird. How did you manage to put the N? Because
my name and my surname.
my name and my surname, well, ENC, to be honest, like I just feel like ENC is so unique. I don't know the hamga lulu. Like it's literally so unique and easy. But like if you say ENC, everyone knows ENC. Like because that define you as a person that is so unique. But I think you're one of the artists who have your name as an artist comes with only letters.
Right.
Yeah, which is
yeah. I think there were a few MLC was
MLC.
there. MLC from
yeah, MLC. But you know MLC, but I mean we're used to the ML. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but you're more turmom ENC. Tanga of never they have the ENC. The general. ENC lolo am the salatora. So then bukan have your ENC like ensa yo fan nga judo, fan nga jange, kom fo joge dal si Serekunda from nursery to high school.
So I'm very mixed actually. But Brikama is what we represent. You get me? Like born and brought up in Brikama.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Born and brought up in Brikama. Growing up, when music started, we must start music. I moved now from Brikama already. So that's why I'm that artist that can represent many places at the same time. Like for example, I've lived in Brusubi for a long time compared to almost what I lived in Brikama. Understand? Serekunda during school days, like you know, understand? And then I've done a lot of growing up in Bufood, you know, I'm running family stuff, and then so then I've done Yom Kololi, I've done places. You know, come a lot of people can relate to me. So if you go to places like Bufood right now and tell them ENC, they say ENC from Bufood because I've done stuff there. I've lived there. You go to Bruce, like I can be one Alcalo because you know we've been there, but at some point, but before Kurang, we in areas of Bruce, so that's a long time. You get me? So I mean, Brikama is where I was born and brought up, and then that made me the person I am. And then my music and my other journey started. Serekunda, Brusubi, Bufood, and other places. You know, I did Kabafita Primary School, Alpha Khan, and then Gambia High School, YMCA computing. You know, yeah. So I've been a book guy in school, the high school, book.
Nice. You know what? This is what I said. Like I'm a fan of the hot seat because it gives me the chance to know a lot about the Gambian artists. Even though I've known ENC, like you know what I mean, but never knew that. Like what Brikama. This is a surprise. This is a surprise. And you know, like Dama said, like we've got many Gambian artists, you know, they are from Brikama and they're so supportive of Gam music. And each time Madam Suma Analytics say, Suma page, I see the people from Brikama watch me more than any other place in Gambia, which is amazing. And I will say thank you very much to Bricks for supporting, which means that they're literally doing a lot of supporting everywhere. ENC lolo am na solo torop. ENC dañ bëggoon a xam yow what inspired you to be an artist, like what ko xool ko gis naka la ñëwee sa life ba nga toog ne okay I want to be an artist, I want to sing.
I mean, music came funnily to a person like me because my family is not a musical family. My family is more of the religious, you know, Islamic. Many people know my dad, Nyomnyo, found Islamic Council. He has been the Secretary General of that association, that council, you know, from day one. So basically, I'm not gonna lie, that's my family line. So I'm the old one. I call myself the black sheep because from a fully like nobody ever ventured or nobody ever went through that. Understand? But then again, media has been in the family as well, I can say, because my dad used to have radio shows on Radio Gambia, even though preaching la more fuck you know. But then again, I believe everybody has a call, everybody has a way they express themselves. Some would express themselves by writing, some will do by speech, some will do by singing, performing, some would do by painting, some would be a graphic designer, some would go and do what Aji is doing. You know what I mean? It becomes your sanctuary of communication. You get me? So I am that kind of person. I think openly, you know what I mean? And then wherever I feel this is the best way I can pass my message across. I mean, that's what for me. I didn't ask for it, it came. You know what I mean? It's like if you have to go through deep knowledges of life, nobody asked God to create you. You saw yourself here through your paternal or maternal side life, right? But then they give you a name, surname, for the car. Then I grow to a point. And I never seek or sought to be an artist. I mean, it came. I don't know how, but it came. What I can say, when I've been around people that were musical oriented. At some point, I shared house with one of our big brothers. Our dad used to raise him in the house, so he's like our elder brother. That guy was he fixed literally everything. He can fix a computer, fix a radio, fix a tape, fix a sound system. He's very multi-talented, and those things in life are things that inspire me. It doesn't just have to be music, but creative people inspires me. People that have deep knowledge in life inspires me a lot. So I spent a lot of time around that guy, seeing him fixing amplifiers. Then I'm on his little sound system in the house. So that again, I can spend a whole day there. He be playing music. He had a lot of records on CD, at cassettes, at LPs. So those days, if you buy a cassette, after every reading, I'm reading instrumental, the last track. So when I listen to CDs, Muhammad, there's an instrumental here. I enjoy that. Like I'm like, this artist was singing this song on this beat. Now this beat is playing, his voice is not there. I try to sing that. I try to feel that gap. That's how I find myself. Now I can actually put vocal on a beat. Understand? But I'm a realistic person to myself. To me, that was just not enough. Anybody can just mumble on a beat. I'm like, you need to be a writer. One of the reasons why I went so serious in school and I work on my language, I work on my communication skills a lot, because I feel like you really have to know what you're saying and what you're doing to be able to write something. So I'm a writer. I can write. I've been writing for a lot of big artists when I was young. You know what I mean? These are things I don't even discuss, and I'm never going to mention artist names. But I used to, when I was an upcoming artist, I was a writer for big established artists before. You know what I mean? And then I'm like, let me see where this heads me to. So creativity been there. You get I head for Yahoo Sanga, I'm no ibe connect ko. Hanga CD Walkman, we are hunger find a way how to connect. Like that has been this kid. And I used to love painting. So this last put together, and that made me. So, but as I said, I never musmako yakamti. The man, I'm gonna take my time until somebody wash a great job. But I was gonna be doing music since primary school in the early 90s.
Wow.
That was around 94, 95, 96. But I still knew how to write one or two things of my ideas. But I've been doing paintings in school and all of that, and I love performing. So I think that's how music came into my life.
Yeah, I'm not sort of like, who would have thought that ENC, like your dad is someone that is in the mosque 24 hours by lead, like be part of the Islamic Council, like one of the founders there. Like what you know what I said a few days ago, I was telling someone, I said, my brother said, if you're getting married this time, and I said, Gambian artist, I'm never, I think I have never young lixin you for young chronicle, young never me. Yes, I give up. I yes, your people, you have this will I remember say, Jarusa, anything. I'm not sort of, yes, like having to come from a very religious family, especially your dad, who's the head of the family, move be that religious person. Did you find it difficult to have to come out to your family to say, I want to be a musician? And when you did, what was the outcome? Bugay Hamene, your musician.
Yeah, so I couldn't actually find a way to do it because I knew the answer was going to be no. But actually, on the other side, Dad passed away early. So I'm raised by
Sorry
mom
to hear that.
and being around here. So I mean, family went in smaller sects, like you know. So then I just you know, like for example, you know, someone just approaches you and asks you of something which obviously they're going to say no. That was my state of being at the time. So I was like, okay, one thing I know, my family knows how serious I am when it comes to anything I do. So at some point, there's this level of trust and knowing, okay, when he gets into something he's serious about, he's going to do it. So I knew that was there. That was something. That was the energy around me in the years 2003, 4. You know what I mean? This was when I was actually ready, because then I've had over 200 songs written. I've had over hundreds of instrumentals packed on CDs and cassettes already in the years 2003, 4, you know. And then I'm like, I cool. I'm 2005. I'm gonna graduate and I'm gonna be done with my some courses and all of that. I'm gonna give it a shot to my first record. I was like, my target is I'm gonna give myself 2 years. If this don't impact my life, if I don't see a source of growth, if I don't see a level of growth, and then a source of income as well, even though income was not the primary goal, because you have to actually establish yourself first, right? But I mean, I know along the way it's gonna come up, right? But then I was like, I'm gonna give myself 2 years to do this. If not, I have better things to do as well, and I have a little knowledge of different things that I can do. You know what I mean? And along the way, when it comes to the parent side, I'm like, I'm not gonna go and say, Mom, I wanna be a musician. I just wanna wait for a moment when they're gonna start seeing me on TVs and newspapers, and then they can sum it up and say, all right, he messed up, but he's good at this.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? We can actually embrace because he is good at this. Because I knew the songs was gonna be good. I knew that for a fact. Funny how one of the first songs I did was on a popular Jamaican rhythm. It was there with JRQ and all of that. So when DJs play those songs, they play my song along. So at that time you wouldn't even tell it was a Gambian. Understand? So my people be hearing the song, they didn't know.
I think that the same thing happened to Fuller Gangster, as he said.
Funny, like they didn't know it was me. So I remember these days. Like, man, start now, baby, get a bit, fireman, my again, I show.
Bless.
My sister, more I was doing, because one day I'm like, where man, there was a talent show somewhere when I got a new demo, you know. So she's an indoors person. But we went, and I performed. Like, yeah, nice. So I was like getting my little hype on, like, okay, that's a level of courage right there. I'm off my way. And then one time my big sister was here for a holiday. We were together. And that song came. She was like, hey, so why you don't there? I was like,
bragging.
Are you cool? I haven't done one actually again. So I mean, that was what I was looking for, to family's validation about if this is good or not for them to allow me to do it or not. But if it's good, then we can negotiate that. So before they could ever stop me, it was late already, and I got the start like my tail at them. Actually, I started. My first single was the song that blew me. That time to have a phone call from DJ Fireman say, hello, yo, that was like, you are a god, you know, bro. You know what I mean? Like, yo, people like G-File, you know, them people. That was a reggae song. So if Fireman plays your reggae song on West Coast 95.3, hey mama, you made it. And that song was on Fireman's shows. I remember, you know, Fireman was actually on the Champion Sound that time before he established Firehouse School. So he used to be at the recording studio Westfield opposite Wall Mobile. It's called Jetstar. Some little history right there, right? So I remember Tobaski Modern up for a show. We invited me. My madam, I'm a champ. So we went through. I got into Jetstar, and Fire was like, it's still CD right here in the tape. I was like, oi, this feels good. Like having that from Fireman, yo. And that actual Tobaski, he started taking me for a tour. He was the first guy that took me out of my comfort zone to take me to places I would never actually go to by myself. He was the first guy that took me to Brufut, Nyom Tujeren, Nyom Tangi, Nyom the east side of Combo, Nyom Pirang, Nyom Kuloro. I would have never gone there. I was like, we were very sheltered, like a foster family. We're not those that, you get me? We only would sneak out to go to a show and come back. But to move out of the Brikama Serekuna range was not something that we do. So Fireman took me there. And you could see that has a lot to do with my track records. I'm one of those artists that toured this entire country. That artists more than tour the Kabibari, you know. Like I'll be on tour 11 months a year, every year. Ramadan Reklaro them tour in this country. So I mean, I think that Fireman energy had a lot to do with that. I was out of my comfort zone to go meet the fans. So within this time, you already have my songs on West Coast. People are requesting, play me this song, and so the family could never say they're late now, and that was the goal. And like, okay, cool. Yeah.
Lolu mom am na solo torop. Kudos and shout out to Fireman. He is a keen follower of Agies Corner. Every time he is here in my comment section. Nag ma de sonal nak. Why hana ni ku gata la, ni ku gata ku bari pro te man dama gata
Wala
ko.
shit,
No, si tuma de lu ko nagu.
real nice
Follow
guy.
us ite. Why yes, anyways, you're just gonna yo xam nga ne am only little. So, you know, yes, Lolo am na solo torop. Like you as an artist, we know the ENC, so like the, you know, ENC is a reggae artist, in it. Dancehall reggae artist. So basically, people do say that when you sing dancehall, it does not connect with home, and many people don't connect. But when people say that, they don't. It makes no sense when you call ENC's name, because kula hamne you're a reggae dancehall artist, but hamne like. So I would say you're one of the populars, the most popular reggae dancehall artists in the country. Why did you decide to go on that lane of music instead of come back to our culture with the sabar and all of that? And was it not because it was risk for people to connect with your music?
I mean, that's a very good question. I came from a generation where, I mean, Gambians criticize a lot of things, but I'm a guy that listens to critics in a good way. If someone tells me something that, let's say in the public front, people might feel like, no, that's bad, I try to understand where this person is headed to, not just deliver a message, right? I might check the delivery sometime later and just go into it, right? But I try to understand where they're headed to. Basically, then they expected everyone to be doing the chorus, the jelibas, the mandinka, the olaf and all of that. You get me? And then it was tough for a Gambian artist to actually relate to that easily, because GP best being a judo, they being a start music. Anytime you tune a radio, then the first thing they come use young Jamaicans got hip hop got and all of that. We thought they were Gambians, like as a kid. The projection of what we have was not what people were requesting from us. Understand? Right now, let's say let's say Halibu Hamna come Sibiri, I am like 9 months old. Kukununu, gisang good the sunlight. Kuku gisang good anything outside. Kukulum is inside. It's there squeezed like something. You know what I mean? Knowing I'm not alive. Kukununu, so if one day in life you're gonna go out to a place, you're gonna see cars running, you're gonna see oceans, you're gonna see story buildings, you're gonna actually be on a flight for 9 hours to another country. You couldn't even understand what you're saying. Understand? But Coco should be start to see things that they are not more creative, how to actually blend in what's going on there. So basically, your generation was kind of that. So Maki, you don't understand because of that. But nyom tam don't understand what you learned from. It's not what they're asking for. So that time was a very big challenge for our generation. Understand? Most of them, as I mentioned earlier with the nicknames, they're low down digger, Gambian Sislakorongi, Gambian Buju, Gambian something. Even if you're trying to do they have to align you with somebody who's from the outside. Understand? Because it was not about what we own here. Sense of ownership, so we could actually emulate from where we learn from. At using media, look at it because that should be the reflection of Nyun. If we were born seeing only Nyum Kankurang, ak Kumpos, ak Mama Paras, ak Musuba Ajulu, ak Sabario, that was going to be the sound everybody's gonna be on. Understand? But these were things we only hear, see, I gente, I stuff traditionally, locally, and all of that. And then you could even see how that you can actually put in a music. So it takes a time of growth. Now, coming to your corrections of the recent times, persons like me try to guard this. How can we actually now start to bring this in to our modern way of contemporary music? So by hell, my mama start music. Some generation, I was one of the first to actually start to bring local signatures in our music. I sang Nyamba Kawas, People thought I was stupid. Understand? After that, I sang Wonjo and Ginger. Right? And I did a lot of this music like about 15 years ago and all of that. So you could understand when I say this, you can pay reference to my track record. Right? Sometimes you don't dare go that way. It's either you are a rapper that will rap in Olaf. But you still have to show people your slangs vocabulary. You have to actually be the American rapper, like, before people will rate you. You have to dress like them. So artists were cornered in that cultural something where you either have to choose to be this or that. And when you were too local, I'm not familiar with tech. Understand? So it was difficult. But man, I've been through that as well. But I've listened to what the society says. I try to reflect. I try to see how to bring that in. So I mean, I think that gave me a unique level of presence in the music. And still, most of the songs I'm already been in full English, right? And then I choose one line I choose to be Patwa. One line I choose to be all of Mandinka. One line I choose to bring in phrases you have all of Momutko, Mandinka Momutko, Njago Momutko, but we all say them in our daily life. Mota nyom nyambaka was Ken, because Ken Momuturi nyam. So I've been doing this thinking since then. I've been creating this music. Understand? So them as biti guneka finga wonjola boko. It doesn't matter ban het nga nekati laka wahal but koko hamna luy wonjo, hamna luy jinja. So I started putting in these phrases, everybody uses them. And I try to bring them, I try to put them on image, visualize them so people can actually understand where we're headed to. And then we still keep that dancehall culture in it. So I'm very grounded on those and cultured and understood them at an early age. So I was like, let me build the energy around this. And then many people, understood that. Many artists started, it don't have to be in a ENC. I don't call it copy or something, but I think it's a wake-up call for a lot of artists in our generation to actually transcend or actually find a way how they can also be comfortable to, be hamga. I remember when Barigunka did Dahaba Puritu, ST did Suma Haftan, Papalenti did Dapata. Like this generation, like, is tough for Gambia because people can't easily find history. It's not documented that way. And our entertainment journalists very well know where people can actually find a way of getting these catalogs and understand where we borrowed certain things from the Penchabis, the Masladis, the rebellions, to the Americas, to the Jamaicas, to everything. It's not, you barely, someone should take that as a job sometimes, and it will help people like you to actually bring the story outside. So basically, I think that would answer.
Yes, but I was on a road trip with Big C and DJ Kano. And this is exactly what the two of them said to me. We want you to go back and do like a catalog and then get them back to all of these artists and it's like get to know them, search thoroughly. And if it's gonna be like and DJ Kanu was like, he was telling me his generation coming down wahe DJ Fireman so plays a song, Montame generation of so plays a song. And they were like, I was basically having a conversation with them, and because I like to ask questions and ask this artist, Kanu Nema, what you need to do is sit down, get them talk and study. I'm like a book or catalog and know every artist. Definitely like a profile. That would be very interesting. And to be honest, you're the third person that said this to me, and I would definitely like to do that because I'm gonna busy time. Man can a job Facebook Live, and my private life time is just a lot of things. But I would definitely try. But most of the people that watch or follow Gam music now, which is the younger generation. I always call them the 2000 kids because because chowmuna am tuti rek ñu attack ENC artiste debal wala mënu dara wala because most of them tey lañ la dégga wala débal la dégga. So mota ma de wane we need to get to know our artists, and yalla def na suma fi oye artists yeen sen bopa da ngeen def faram fàcce some will be like, I've never said this anywhere but I said it today for the first time, and I'm glad that this is why I get to ask you a lot of questions where you get to teach, like educate the people that needs to know what they need to know. And I'm glad that many of them are following here, so they will get to know ENC. And to be honest, even the ones that don't know you, they will call me and say, "Hi, artist, bigger indicator. How much? Why them now YouTube? Them now free site now? Follow now? Ham now get to know them." Thank you very much, Lolo ENC. ENC, then we're gonna have come you as a reggae artist. Nakanga def banga hamne you connected with the fans like. A way bo xamne da nga portray some music ba nga xamne duga na si fancy Gambia ni ba nga xamne sonne ENC. They don't care. Like it's reggae, but it's dancehall, but they're there to support it. How did you manage to put that in the hands of Gambians? Because lima de wa moy, you look at people that loves reggae and wanna sing reggae artists that wanna buganeka wala dancehall, but they'll be like, you get one reggae artist dancehall, it amuj future in the Gambian music because people don't relate. Yo tay ganeka an icon mo xamne Gambian musician la magga ci art bi. Xëy na tey am na ku laa déglu ba koo xam ne yoon boobu la bëgg a toppa waaye mu déggee ko si yow mu mun a xam ne nii laa mun a def ba indi fans si tamit wala Gambian si mun ma support. If you can tell us a little bit of how you connected with the fans.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's simple, it's complex. Your artist being first thing you need to know is you need to identify your strength. Yeah. Everybody, any individual, every individual alive, I'm the local yalamai, that's your strength. And then when you know your strength, you know your weakness as well. And then your daily progress should be working on your weaknesses. Understand? That for improvement, because your strength is there, divine, Lord is there. Nobody can take that from you as a person, no matter what happens. Your strength is always going to be your strength. Now you see how to actually work on your weaknesses. Now, someone as someone that I want to do music, I have to actually ask myself, am I a good writer? Am I a good vocalist? Am I a good storyteller? Am I a good party kind? You have to identify your strength. Man, when I was coming up, because writing was easy for me. It was too easy. I can write and I can communicate. That was easy for me to do. I'm like, I wanna be a creative writer that can take simple things and make a song out of them. And then the challenge is always gonna be, we have to understand when they say this world is a small village, there are advantages and disadvantages. Advantage number one would be we all can connect. You're UK, Gambia, people are watching us all over the world. Yeah. Some people would only have this dream for them to be alive today. Let's say, imagine Bob Marley was alive today, Facebook Live. He might be a different person, right? That's something you have to actually look at. Like man talk and seen man kui deglu vibes kate, mama deglu. That means I have to work. That means man I'm not gonna force the music on people. You don't actually impose music on people. That's the last thing you want to do as an artist. You create and allow people to choose where they place the music. Make sure you do right music. That's it. If you want to do club music, make sure if they hear the song, DJs want to play, bang. And so DJ play, it don't stop for the crowd can connect. So you know it's working right. If you want to be a storyteller, if you want to be more of like a preaching kind of person, like, you know, Rebellion was doing that, like, you know what I mean? We must rebel up until then they declare rebellion. And I do this personally a lot. How did this guy write music? This guy is so intellectual in his lyrics. When most of us would be strong-headed kids in school, we don't even like books. This guy was writing profound music. Another thing of Mawaheni, and people that are watching right here, I want to give you guys an assignment. Sometimes, as you said, go back and listen to some artists before. You listen to Rebellion, his music is so profound, like what he puts in there. And I've been a big fan of that. So I listen to people like Rebellion. I would listen to, these days, Young Vibes Cartel was not even there. Cartel made his name in 2003. And then, you know, people started knowing him later. This generation, that time, it was more of the Robado and the reggae. You know what I mean? Like we all were listening to. It was the Buju Bantans, and there was no Goli Gaza and all of that. Rebellion was doing it for us. And then listening to Fugitives, the kind of music they do, like the Food for Life album, the Huda. That was, you see that bounce, that vibe was me. Like, I like something that someone can just, like, driving you in that vibe, like you're in the, like your Fugitive doing that.
Chilling.
Fugitive was doing that. Just trying to reference to whatever is happening right now, being done before, is just the level of volume being added to it, the level of investment being added to it, and the level of opportunities being added to it. Understand? So I mean, so me coming up, I've studied all these things, and I'm like, where do I place myself now in front of these giants? You know, because I'm not. Joe, you listen to some artists, the way we sound on a record and the way we would sound on an interview is quite different. Because your deep knowledge of communication, your deep knowledge of understanding of what you're doing, little more than you see interviewed. Your lyrical ability, your vocals, and all the more than you see studio. So it's totally different. So me coming up, little more than Teluma again in music. I waited until 2005 to put out my first official single because I was trying to be ready. The first thing I did was reggae was the thing. Everyone was doing reggae and rap. I'm like, I'm gonna do dancehall. So how do I do this? It have to come through a reggae catalog from a reggae column. You know what I mean? My first song was reggae, and then I started diving into some dancehall beats. Nobody was specialized in dancehall here, so that was a big avenue for me to come and mark my name on the rockstone. And I'm like, how do I do this? I used a lot of appearance strategy because then. So OT show is different from Komligi, you know when to perform a rated. Then they OT talent show, then group of backstage, that forces a CDB. Why do you fight your way to perform? Like it was mad, bro. How do you stand out of those hundreds of musicians? How are you gonna be seen? I'm like, okay, cool. Started going deep into fashion. I've always loved fashion. I've always loved, feeling myself. Like, I don't need to go out for people to feel me. I stay indoors and be putting on my biggest drips and watch TV and go to bed. I just want to feel myself with that. You know what I'm saying? That's my level of confidence right there. So since then, I applied that into music. I'm like, if I have to stand here with 3 good artists, before even I sing, I want them to recognize me for something before hearing me. Started mota ñom ñamba parce nga daga plans like style and fashion, style and pattern, style and swagger, like you know what I mean. I started bringing those physically before actually putting them on the record. So I'm gonna dress up like a rapper with this thing and Durax with bands on, Timberlands and real, like you see a nigga like flying like yo. And when I go on stage, you hear a reggae beat. That was like a mental drill for the audience. You know what I mean? So this was risky. Don't try this at home, but I did it and it worked for me. It was risky.
But an artist, this is what I always say, an artist have to look like an artist. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I did those because then if you have to appear in Durax and all of that, you're gonna be categorized as a rapper only straight up. Reggae, then you have to put on the turbans, the red, yellow, green. You gotta be smoking. I don't smoke. I don't do all of that. Like I never done those. So I applied when I got the lyrics. I applied fashion and movements into my music. And then when I go on stage, I'm a performer. So I actually started performing before I had records. Because I was like, I wanna know my energy level, my vocal energy, my vocal strength. I wanna know how I sound at the microphone and all of that. And then also because I'm a DJ. I was used to microphone already before actually being an artist. You get me? So Lulu I had a lot of advantages, and my strength was too much for me to pick from. So I was like to actually have where to pick, to choose where to pick where and put them together and actually make me out of those. So actually I was able to stand out because of then I think there was need for dancehall music, and then being a dancehall music, you have to be a lyricist. You have to I put a lot of lyrics in one song. That was one of my strengths as well. You know what I mean? I don't have the best vocals. I'm not very vocal when it comes to, you know what I mean, the melodies and all of that. I'm a performer, I'm a hardcore artist. You know what I mean? The melodies and all of those things came along the way later because you have to study what you're doing, you know what I mean, and all of that. And then my strength was my lyrical build up, and then the topics I would choose. Who would sing a song called Netetu?
Only ENC.
Exactly.
Only ENC.
Exactly. You get, so these things will bring you to listen to my music, and when you start listening, you find more. So they are like the bait. They bring you in. They lure you in to know more what's behind. So I mean, I've been doing that a lot of for quite a long time now.
Yes, Lolo, I'm the solo basically, as an artist, we've seen it, like, only in the Gambia, you will see that an artist would have, like, a complex, so like, for example, ENC wrote your songs for, like, the lyrics, ENC, or somebody else writing. I think is the pride in us. We just too prideful and the ego to accept, or we find offense in saying that somebody else wrote your song for you. Like I said, people watching you because you don't want to be an artist, war nga muna nekk koo xam ne tamit war nga muna binda especially lyrics, and yàlla def na artists yu fi dee ñëw yu commencé laaj daf dee wax ne I wrote my songs, but some of them would be like, some of my songs were written for me. So people ñoo xam ne they were not, because yàlla daf la dee may wursak si lu nekk mun ngaa ñaaka dem school mun a binda mun ngaa ñaaka dem school mun a wëy, so like yow loo am pour mboolem koo xam ne tey yaa ngi bëgg a nekk artist, but having to write, you have an issue because danga dyslexic, because that's what Gambians will call stupid, but here we don't call it stupid, it's an insult, danga dyslexic. So basically, what would you say to somebody who is dyslexic? Because having to hear a big artist we want the hey man can bindalu ma suma song bi ak you know, someone might be like, nah, I'll be in my own corner, duma wona te nekk artist comme que mënuma binda, kenn waruta bindal artist. Yow loo am pour wax regarding loolu noonu?
I mean, industry have changed, the world changed. Most of these big songs you hear from your superstars, they don't even have just one writer. You have up to 4 or 5 co-writers, man. Sometimes you be in the studio with a bunch of writers. Some people writing music is not even about the lyrics, it's about the composition of the instruments, and they write the melodies, because melodies are written actually. The lyrics, they have to put it together for you. They know these are people, or you have experts, you have they know this kind of lyrics I wrote, the first suit artist Nangam Sangam. You get me? Or I mean, you have a team. Gambia is new to a lot of things, and then sometimes we are not aware of a lot of things. We use ego and complex. If I have a songwriter and I feel like this person is dope, I want to work with that person. All you need to do is to prove it to me you're good. Let me see a good song. That's it. Some people don't need writers. That's fine. But I've seen giant artists like from day one, like
Beyonce, Michael Jackson.
Writers. They don't have writers, and they have good writers. You get and they artists, people get paid for writing music. People, so you just make sure you are a good writer, and that's it. I've seen one of my favorite artists, Conscience. That was a time a few years ago. Munglawana, he was on. Sometimes you go on a lot of tours. You have a lot of shows to do, a lot of interviews, a lot of things to actually pay attention to. You don't even have time to write music. You have the idea, and he was looking for if you know you're a good writer, link up. So I'm not just talk much. I have some melodies in my head, and then I have my producer send me a beat, and I know Agies a good writer. I can send you an idea. Yo, I want to do a song about this. I rate it. I said, yo, Agies shot look good. It's a Gambian flag. You rate it. And you find a way how to get a song out of that for me. You get the song done. I'm gonna go on voice, and I steal my song, and you get credited for being a writer. And that's a good thing, man. It's a good job.
Yeah, ENC, come to work on the head, and in Gambians, let me say 99.9% of us, we're full of pride and ego. I always tell people, I say, like, mother saw the Gambia, every time people are fighting. If we're always fighting, every time, even on the streets, because it's the pride and ego that we just don't want to swallow and let go and work with the right people that we should work with. ENC, I'm the solotora. ENC, then we're going to have you as a Gambian, born and raised. How did you manage to speak Patois?
It came in from the music I listened to, the reggae music, and then reggae music. There was a time speaking Patois was a flex, you know. Some reggae school and people go, "Why say like Patois? So you make a little business out of that." So it was like a flex. It was like something interesting. How do you even do this? Especially generation women social media. Artists don't actually go on social media where they can just pass their information on. So from records, we get to learn to understand. I think Patois is very related to Creole. It's very related to our related to a lot of English broken words. So sometimes it's easier to understand when they say something. The only problem we have is the accent, because munga dega laka, but you cannot actually do the accent exactly. You know what I mean? Even if you do up close, someone will understand, okay, you are an African that speaks patois.
Even in the UK, is your identity.
Exactly.
When you even speak English, regardless that the accent, some part of it comes out to tell you that you're from here. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what happens. Well, I get to a point. There was a time I speak patois more than any language alive. Like I used to do madam them school. Teacher like take correction. So I'm like, that's like, yo. I'm like, sometimes I go back home and look at myself, dude, I'm stupid. What was this? That was mad, you know. But then after, when I got on radio in 2009, I started to clean down the patois a lot, because getting to understand the official language is English, and then patois was taking a toll on my English. It was like everything I was saying, I have to have a patois accent into it. I don't even plan to do it. It comes up all the time because it was so embedded in me. I couldn't help it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I need to work on this. I've been in grade 12. I was writing my essay in English, and I see myself writing. You know what I mean? that bad, you know, like that bad. That was not good. You know what I mean? But I'm a guy that I can work on myself a lot if I want to do something. I'm like, no. This one's going too far, way overboard. So I was like, well, radio helps me to start to clean my, you know what I mean, my patois off a bit. And even in the music, use that my patois, but like I used to do. Then we used the street patois, but that was too deep, you know. Like I don't use those anymore. I still do the basic, the accent and all that, but I only speak deep patois when I'm talking with someone who speaks that, who understands it. You know what I mean? And to a point where you don't even really have to.
Man, trust me, when people speak, I speak Creole. I'm very good at speaking Creole. But when people speaks patois, I'm like, bro, I'm lost. Because I don't know if it's too fast, but I don't get most of the thing, or I don't know all but the affairs, but I get confused. To be honest, I just cannot relate to the language. ENC Lolu no basically I'm not son of. This is why my day one day is important to have you guys here and you get to know our artists. ENC yangi was isa biru I'm solo lo hamne wangade an artist munna neka a good artist to sing a song, but not a good artist to sit on an interview and have to be interviewed. Excuse me. This is where excuse me, my followers would ask me sometimes isil key, but I've already contacted that person and the person say Aji balal ma interview. I'm not the best artist to be interviewed, or I'm not the best person to sit down and to be asked questions. And sometimes I just don't want to come to my followers and say, oh, I've contacted this person, but this was the response, because they wouldn't get it. Understand? Because we have our comfort zones. And I will tell you, an artist said to me, like, I'm happier to sing even on your interview, to sit on your platform and sing, that to have to sit down and chit chat. So I understand that they said, like, I'm not comfortable having a chit chat, but if you bring me to your platform to sing, I can sing for you all night. So what do you have to say regarding that? Because my followers will be thinking, Aji bukuta in the ENC. Feka Aji contact the ENC. Why ENC explain on my situation, man, I'm very understanding. I understand that the ENC can't do it, but I don't have to just come and tell them, oh, this person will do it. Because 2 weeks ago, I saw 2 people arguing on the comment section. So one of them said, bring this artist, and the other person said, that artist wouldn't come to this platform. And the person said, why? And the other person said, because of so. But I'm thinking there, couldn't I opinion? I'm not in the rumors and all of that. But if you ask me, I've already spoken to the artist, but they said, Aji, I'm really sorry. Bring me on another thing on your platform, but it can't be an interview because I can't do it. But I just ignored the 2 of them chatting on the post. So Langa, I'm purwah regarding that as an artist.
I think it's normal. Some people are camera shy in real life. Some people don't feel comfortable when their imagination is kicked. Because let's say right now, when I'm looking at the screen, I see only me and Aji, and I don't need to remember anything I say here. because I know even if you wake me up from my sleep, I can say the same thing. Probably that's my personality, and that's how I am naturally. But it's different for a lot of people. A lot of people have to go and actually study themselves to understand themselves again before they can face the public, and it's normal. That's why sometimes you have people that have to go through public speaking academies because they are shy. You know what I mean? And they have a lot to say, but until or unless they find a certain level of comfort within a certain people, and they become loud and free. So it's normal. Sometimes just even those, they will tell you, even themselves, they don't like it that way. They wish they can actually be free and
communicate. Yeah,
exactly. So I mean, like, we're living in a modern world. You can join academies for public speech, public speaking. You can do some researches, because you never know. Sometimes munga neka a youth leader, munga am foundation, munga you can attend conferences and seminars where you have to chair actually a speech. You have to deliver a speech. You have to do something different from you just performing. And those things are important. I'm not for the an artist. Some people want to talk to you. They don't even want to hear your song again. You are loved and respected by body. You cannot. They don't need you to prove anything to them. They only want to talk.
Yeah.
Then they at that level. Like they don't even care about song again right now. Right or wrong is okay for them. They love you, fine. Sometimes they just want to have a conversation with you. Sometimes they just want to know how you think. They just want to know how you treat certain issues. They want to know. Let's say, right now, how do we sort out?
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to ask this question. I'm not on media anymore doing my interviews. I want to give this example. But it's a real question I was going to ask Nobles, right? One day, if you have them, ask them this. Or if you're going to have them again. I'm like,
I already had them, but I will do it. I will do have them, don't worry.
Anytime you have a group of artists, ask them this. People never ask artists these questions, right? Like, artists do live together as a group. They do things. Boy, Lamin and Bung I'm misunderstanding sometimes.
Well, they explain that it will wow
how
you.
Do you do it?
Trust me, it will wow you. It will wow you. How Nobles, like, you know, every time sin jote kia ki jote, like on their hot seat, to be honest, they shared how ñoom naka lañ grow up together, the conflicts they have, kan more they short tempered, kan more they kan, like, I was like, wow. And the hard work they do at lan la guy they loolu moo leen they motivate together, them peinture, them gasi to the soccer way, like they shared a lot, and that is why I said hot seat with they're important when you get to know you lot, because ENC, the reason why I like the question, if you ask me, man, having to know you, if you ask me, I will tell you ENC is a very shy guy. He does not talk much. Even the way you talk is calm. Like, you're not the kind of person, Mohammed, you're everywhere. Understand what I mean?
Obviously, yeah.
So, yeah, obviously. So, because obviously I know you. So, like, having to have you go sit down to talk again, come maternity dilende like, because come linga don wax ne lolu horam la si nga nek artist bo xamne ya ngi gena ci sa fancy nga jox len that moment of 1 hour 30 minutes or 2 hours, because this is what they want to see. ENC bu tok ben place mu wax regardless of what you're saying, new comment rek ci comment section bi xamne sen come linga do fireman this ga been play a song be how you feel, this is how it makes them feel. Suma artist be so, which is lo xamne dafa am important torop. And yo ENC then bu gonna xam lan motax ENC nek a calm, a shy, cool. If you ask me, ENC is a very cool artist. What?
I think that my upbringing have a lot to do. I'm from a family we are very loud and noisy when we are within ourselves, like think that is nice and everybody's just nice back. But I mean, I might be one of the quietest. Many times I'm more creative and I'm quiet. You know what I mean? I learn from every little thing I see. Sometimes I'll be quiet, munna talk at people. Right? Especially let's say my normal content. Munna like hours, I'm not even gonna utter a word. But I'm listening to everybody. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to relate things to things. I'm actually having a staff meeting in my head, like, you know, that kind of thing. Sometimes, right now, let's say you're Linga Sol again. I like this Gambian shirt. This jersey is so beautiful. Well, you have over nice, boy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can be looking at this Luno on my mind is how to the next graphic design I'm creating from this. So I'm over here still looking, but I'm seeing the colors. I'm looking at the color harmony. I'm looking at the background color. I'm looking at the details of these colors. I'm saying, okay, my next graphic design is this. So it's the quiet me that is understanding you like that. But I can engage you in some other conversations that you can never have with a single person alive because my questions are stupid, crazy, bro. What I would ask, they are not normal. Like they might be normal, but not the questions you get every day. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy conversations, but mainly with younger people. Let's say kids.
Oh, is it?
If I have to say a hobby, it's Watanakale. Like I love that shit. Like too much. Sorry for using that. But I enjoy that. Yeah, like that's something I learned. Then in my house, kids were coming like daily base, every day. No matter like they have to wake. I have to get used to waking up on their schedule to come bomb into my house. They have routine. I tell them, send parents are all richer than me. They can buy send carry. You know, no care. You talk my talent YouTube by force. Get Satan. But I enjoy them. I enjoy the way they ask questions, the way they think. It reminds me of things, and I like these kids at this age understands this. Me at soon 40, I should be understanding the world better, and I think this is a task the world everybody should actually take as an assignment. Why you think this? Everybody is fighting. Is Ukraine fella? Is the fella? Is because I mean people don't place themselves where they're supposed to be. Greed and people are not contented. People are not loyal. I mean you see kids being loyal to you. You have like little kids being fair, being open, being cool, being caring, like kids be seeing and they're like, you get to ask yourself, what is he or she thinking, understanding that you might need water to drink. And then that for me, how I translate that is, then Magutol man, soon 40, should understand the world needs peace, bro. I don't need to be bitter on people. I don't need to come and trying to shade people. I'm not gonna be here and then disregard people. I'm not gonna be here like not showing love and appreciation. So like the quiet me be thinking like this. You know what I mean? So I relate to realities. I relate to things that people might ignore, but I see big essence in them. You know what I mean? And I think me as a person, it contributed to where I am. And then how people will say I'm calm. I'm wild though. Like imagine I'm a whole DJ, you know, and we play in the roughest clubs. Like imagine Gambia's #1 rough club, bad club, everything. Wow, nightclub. I had my own night. Remember, my for the vicinity and play. You get me? So you can see the different clothes I'm cut from, the different pieces I'm cut from. I'm from a violent environment, you know. I'm from Brickham, a rough street. I'm a Jesus. Anybody can tell you living around Kolori Tavan is rough, bro. I've done those places, like I've walked, I've lived life with people.
So guys, again, Mariman and ENC Gambia la neka, so dinañ am a little bit of network issues here and there. Mun doon wax regarding suma t-shirt bi, maa ngi gis ne tamit ñu bari ñu wax suma mbiri jaasi bi. Jaasi bi is a gift from a Gambian guy who follows and a keen follower of Agies Corner. Koo xam ne ndeysaan góor la comme ni ma ko defee góor yi ñooy suma xarit ndeysaan mu send ma jaasi bi si week bi I think on Wednesday ma ñëw rek fekk ko si post box bi daf ma inbox laaj ma suma adresse bi ma yónnee ko suma adresse bi mu jox ma jaasi bi comme li ma doon wax rek si gannaaw Agies Corner moo fa nekka mu nekk gift bu rafet ndeysaan moo wax Lamin jërëjëf daf dee jaay t-shirt yi tamit ku bugg a t-shirt rek mun nga ma inbox gis naa ñu bari fii di wax ne t-shirt bi excuse me ñu bàyyi ENC mu senati request mu dugg si show bi ENC su fekkee ne yaa ngi foofu mun nga sena request mun ma laa gis pour indi la comme ni ma ko doon waxee rek jaasi bi nag medium na te small la de sol wala extra small so dafa xala rëy nag tuuti waaye nag rafet na ku bëgg a jaasi bi rek contact ma Agies Corner bu rafet moo nekk si gannaaw number 10 la te ay numéro 10 man si digga bi lay play mit fii la da ngeen dof ma ne ko da ngeen dof si digga bi lay play aji nga yab ma rek Ah, si kanam. Nice cold goalie.
But
Oh,
I'm
Gambia.
gonna
Gambia, it's okay.
look
We're
at my
used to it.
proper record. So this phone had to temperature whatever high because
Udahala. Oh, I even thought it's the network in the Gambia.
temperature. I mean, because the live has been going on with same phone and it's
Yeah, okay. Then do you want me to ask the next question?
yeah, you're good. Let me connect these ports on this phone as well.
Okay.
But I'm hearing you. Can
Okay.
go on.
ENC, having to talk about you coming from Birkama just a minute ago. I've got a question here that says, I don't even know this about you. It's why I love the hot seat. It says next, Sapapa is from is a Jola, and then your Sayai is a Sarahule, and basically your Ngajugi from Birkama, which is dominated by Mandinkas, and you are loved by Fullers, Woloffs, and Serials, etc. What is your opinion about gum music being tribally supported? Like few artists complain it is tribal, that tribalism is brought into gum music. So having to be around all these tribes and being from parents that are from a different tribe, langa ampur regarding that jisenga nono gum music be. If yes, what is your opinion, Silolo?
I mean, that have to do with if the music is really tribal. I mean, that's a very sensitive topic. It's a very sensitive topic because if that's like a whole forum, someone have to actually discuss about. But how I would answer it more in, I've never been tribe conscious. My family is never raised. You know what I'm saying? My dad brought up people in the household, we don't even know which tribe they are. Because to us, tribe don't matter. What matters is I'm a human. You know what I mean? First. And then because if you actually have to be cornered thinking it's something have to do with tribe, trust me, you're going to be committed to something. And then you're going to create more enemies for yourself. Then you're going to burn a lot of bridges. Very dynamic country, you know what I mean? And I'm going to actually keep it on the positive side as far as this interview is concerned. Who are the biggest artists in this country? You cannot count one or two. It's more than 2 or 3 or 4. A lot of artists are big here. And then Gambians, the audience don't even care. The audience don't care. Lala audience be careful when you a Gambian first, they like that. They want to take ownership of more. Right? Now it's to the artists to tell them I'm Gambian, but if that I'm this tribe too, then we have a conversation. Understand? On the other way around, tribe is something someone have to love and acknowledge and preserve because it's understand, it don't on a positive light. It's only gonna be difficult or bitter to others if you try to show them the man lila the magen lila. They have a problem as well. Because before you disrespect anybody, disrespect their tribe first. Disrespect a person with everything, but disrespect their tribe, there's war, hell broke loose, man. And if there's any artist in this country or anywhere or any audience that thinks the tribe is necessary or it has to be a selling point, I mean, we need to go from those because we have over 10 tribes in this country, you know. Understand? We have to understand one thing. They're difficult to communicate with Gambians. This don't have to do with only music.
True.
You have to listen to this part keenly. One country which is one of the most difficult countries to communicate or to pass a message, Gambia, Bokanasi. The reason why is any lack of fee that someone don't, I'm not coming to and then you it's like a responsibility for you understand. Understand? Like when I say this, I learned this when I started doing talks from, let's say, from 2009 10 upwards. Danga play yena deka. The community is fuller. It's predominantly fuller. They are coming out to support you. They Muslim mention banal phrase of Paul in your music.
In your songs.
You should go and you should try. Beyond. It's up to you, as I mentioned earlier, to show you that you don't fall the trap at that point in time. For instance, if I happen to be in that position or in that situation, madam take a woman come, maluma way, they love me and they love my music. I will find a way to integrate and appreciate their culture and their norms and values, and not to beat down anybody. It's like to show that we are all Gambians. Understand? There was a time Basse was like mine. I used to have the biggest shows in Basse, even more than Brikam. Mara play Basse. I'm back before 2 months' time. I'm booked again, back. In a year, we playing 2, 3, 4 shows in the same place. Numbers keep going all the time. Booking pain. Remember Basse, my first show in Basse. It was not a promoter, Mama invite. A whole senior school. I'm sent in the house, and the whole school had to choose me to come and perform Bakawas for them. I don't know if people understand the sense of responsibility in that, sense of respect in that. And then you have to actually come and show love to these people. So imagine, just imagine, more than Basse, predominantly fuller. Like, is trap supposed to be important there? Looking at the essence of why you. So trap is something that if we have to talk about it, we have to actually bring the positive side of it and saying, owning up to our heritage, our cultures and norms. But Bunko is music. Is gonna make it unhealthy. Appreciate and accept someone who is singing in his or her local dialect. Today, yo, it's important to you now. Word for word. Go and choose someone. Don't force that person to sing your laka, because still again, laka is not supposed to be the problem. Gambia fee. We all grew up in every household listening to Indian music. We mumble along. We never asked them laka. We all showed them love. But why would Gambian artists happen to sing in this land? We start questioning them. Like Yanko corner, you cornering the person. So the audience have a responsibility, and the artists also have a responsibility. It's normal. Like the audience is 100 people, your artist, your band, you cannot please 100 people. 100 people have to understand. Key, I'm not Kerbum Jogi, I'm not from Jogi, Lila Day. And he's trying to accept him or her for that. Until he or she disrespect or disregards or degrades or whatever, your tribe, defend your tribe to the core, because that's what you represent. That's you. You get man born and brought up in Brikama. That's what I'm telling you. I'm not even tribe conscious. In that household, we all speak Olaf as a Mandinka. We learned a little Olaf because of neighbors. I remember swinging opposite. I love the new for the con. You did Guinea Zimba, so you get to be used to the Olaf and all of that. We had Kusanton Seka and all of that. Like her mom don't even understand. So we've never been even. It has never been a point. So we find a way how we all can communicate. Gambia Hala Jangi. Gambia is Neh Nahari. You will speak all of So sometimes we get cornered and get bullied for not speaking good all of, but that's fine. We've never been trap conscious. But I mean, it's good you mentioned this, and I think at some point you can add more space to having conversations about this, because
surrounding this.
Where people should actually have a real conversation about this, because they divide a lot. They just when it comes to, but if we have to actually go through this, I'm not way big music. Yeah.
Yes, lolo am na solo torop comme li ma dee wax moo nekk ne people like you mag ka si aar bi and dama dee wax ne artist tamit daf dee contribute a lot si yaaxa society wala defar society having to have to sit you here tonight ngay communicate many people watching you and people coming to watch you later dégga li nga wax tey koo xam ne sax noonu la mel wala loolu nekk si xolam war naa mun a dégga lii mu wécceeku comme li nga doo wax rek positive message te loolu leen de expect from artists like you te mu am solo torop bi ma posté sa fly bi am na ko fa binda ne ma aji di nga jànga a lot from the general te binda na ko fi sa bu yàggu ne waxoon naa la ne di nga jànga which tells me ne you're a mature artist if you know what I mean and mature someone having to sit here ma ask la question nga faram fàcce ko ba nga xam ne aji bu fi toog sax tey dina ci jànge wala kii ñëw seetaan bu doon jikkoom la sax dina soppeeku te dafa nekk loo xam ne tey ñu bari ñu ngi ko dunda ñu ngi complain ne music scene bi Gambian music scene bi noonu la fa demee te yow
aji wami ikate
yeah it's alright
imante pare makati la impressions ni tay abla fa good night nda pare ta jangana ngata nga futi ma good night ta yela isi kodi imanta sino sai lafta mana ga ilafta mana buru ndey tima ko lafta buru tay amma buru gila have a good night see you kod amma sana kodi imanta bani beje be de te diam na kodi right ite diam okay see ya di be diam kana diam fo nem pare diam sorry about
ENC loolu am na solo torop comme li ma doon wax ñu del si wax si question si ENC yow yaa ngi nekk Gambian artist boo xam ne dinañ wax ne consistency yow you're one of these artists boo xam ne you're consistent si Gam music industry bi doo mën a oo musician boo xam ne mu ngi consistent si music industry without mentioning your name dañ bëggoon a xam ENC yow recently we haven't seen you see many big events gis nañ la si uche bi and you performed so what is it ne why is it ne yow recently we don't see you performing or releasing songs or doing anything loo xam ne si music scene bi loo xam ne is new or you having to be on stage as often as you used to?
Yeah. Thank you for that question. I mean, since Boma Guinea needed to, I took actually a break from releasing music. My amusement, I can put it out anytime I want. But ENC is not only a musician. I've never been only an artist. Music has been my highlight, actually. Music has been my selling point in life. Music has been the anchor for any business I venture into. Understand? But many different things apart from just music. And then I've given music over 15 years of my time pushing it. And then I have a lot of things that when mindset when it comes to opportunities that I don't really push really hard as I pushed music. Understand? Always target when I reach a certain level in life, when I reach that, this is what I want to do. I've always have that in mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say like popular because I've always been that so I have a graphic design company, Worldwide Media. I've always been a graphic designer, and then it has been doing amazing. I've been doing most of the big events I've been doing. They are flying.
Is it?
You know, best of the best. I run the branding for them. Few popular shows.
I think many people does not know this. I'm glad you mentioned this.
Attack Bomb. I branded the whole show. Many events here in and out. Even the Big C event, the Manchester event that he did last year.
Oh yeah.
And this I did the graphics for him. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a graphic designer, and I needed to push that company. My place called Bena Palace, where I wanted it, which is actually gradually. I'm not gonna say gradually. Good for alhamdulillah where it is right now. Otherwise right? So I actually have to do a lot of energy on that as well with this time. So music can actually, putting out music can give me a little break, a lot of songs outside. There's no Gambian musician that have more records than me when it comes to music. people 28 tracks. You can whole songs. So if you miss me, like a lot of songs you can listen to, and I'm not off the media. I'm here. I do one or two things here. Until when I find it's now to put out my album, I'll do the album outside. The album. How much time to be appearing on shows that I need to appear on? How much time to talk? Which I'm busy doing the corporate works here. I manage brand companies. I work with football a lot. As you can see, one of the fastest rising football teams. I could say the best BST Galaxies team owned by Steve Trawale. I'm their brand manager. I design all their media content.
Nice.
And a lot of things happening out here. I'm not on some shows like a Mari designs and flyer yet. And then that's a good job. That's something I like so much. Understand? So I took this to actually push that my position to fund lab and then I can continue giving you guys songs and videos. I have a lot of projects I kept right now, and songs that will. I'm not just a musician. I'm ENCs of different collections. I'm into businesses that deal cars as well. We're doing the limousine services here. Few other things right here. So I mean, it's. Yeah, we try to
be honest. We don't know our artists, or we don't know what's happening behind closed doors, because come no music like they just ENC get living music. Maybe people rumor would even have in a relax and buy or monotut or hang up old generation bilana gain a haleafineka motanyoko no pillow. So having to hear that you've got all these projects and all these things going on, like, to be honest, kudos, congrats. I like that.
In life, it's not about saying things, it's about doing things. Me as a person, I used to sit back and say, when I was going to primary school, we feel proud to say, my uncle mama generally, my auntie mama generally, like as a kid, you love them, you respect them, you look up to them. And today you are that auntie, you are that dad, you are that uncle to a lot of kids. Can they count on you? You get what I'm saying? Because you, the person, sometimes you don't internalize things a lot. You internalize it from the outside, right? Like you have to look at yourself and say, "Oh, when one of my uncles was doing that for me, he was just 30 years old, or he was 35 years old. Today you are the same age, and you do what are you doing that? Where are you heading as a person? You know what I'm saying?" Times like I've been thinking like this a lot before I even grow up as a man. Think they like your responsibilities of stuff. You know what I mean? We juggle, alhamdulillah. We juggle, we try things, we fail, we back up, we do this, we do that, we try many things, alhamdulillah. But I mean, your state of mind as a person help have with your life you represent. You know what I'm saying? Into many things, and I know.
Legi bobu nak nan nawek la parce que nawek xamuñ hara wala kasara ñom di xam mo la sobe di xam kenn la sobe ya nawek bala ñu de merlo sax ka nek sa digi lu important no yen si su bëgge na ko may kasi courant guys comme ni ma ko waxe rek ngeen bala ma nak yen si Gambia la neka at least dinañ fi guddi am ay difficulties here and there ngeen understand nak nawek la ñoom ñoo xamuñ comme ma ko waxee rek su nit nekkee si digga-diggaam rek si la nawek day ñëw di fo nawek fo rek soo ne leen baalal gaay rek ñu may ñu tuuti rek ENC ñëwaat comme ni ma leen ko waxee rek seen artiste yi aji moo leen a laaj questions yoo xam ne kenn du leen ko laaj parce que daf dee jot waxtu boo xam ne wala artiste sax dañ dee bëgg a plateforme boo xam ne am na questions yu leen war a laaj kenn laaju leen ko te man nag maa leen dee ci ko indi leen ne leen kaay leen nga ñëw toog ñu waxtaanee ko su ko defee ñu ñëw toog waxtaan because I just believe that we all have the rights for such voices to be heard because sometimes we just put what's it called again artiste yi di leen laaj simple questions like lan moo tax nii non di leen neexal non man ma leen dee neexal de man duma dee babysit artiste dama leen di wax ne kaay leen aji sa jaasi bi naka la sex jaasi bi de aji skoona la si gannaaw jaasi bi foog ma wan leen ko ku nekkaa ngeen laajte jaasi bi jaasi bi de yéen si sama ne jaasi bi dafa nice jaasi bi de gift la Then mako may ni isil mako. The person that gave it to me is a kid full of Agies Koma. Lamin again jasi binyepang ko had total. That mahala upana guys. Wahnalen ko is a medium size. The small lade song company be amuton small, so they had to give me a medium size. But again, I'm still happy with the jasi. Bimoko sol Sunday san put music so binit nyan na mako. So they get a different hollow. More than the Malende may. Yan nit ñi may ma noonu la vice versa ma joxe rek ñu jox ma ENC yama diga fu mu nekk
light more over this
I don't crap nawet la Lindo of ENC am no solo torop I can't even remember where we stopped if you can remind me please.
It was about growth of a person. I mean, from one to another. So growing from one and then the person basically, you know.
Yes, I'm not solo torop a little bit. This is a long thingy. Munuma ko summarize because my brain is wired differently, so I have to read the whole question. It says at the 2016 open mic we had ENC with the lyrics like I'm a black man, West African smiling from I'm a black man from West Africa, smiling coast, and a Gambian. Everybody is a champion. We are human beings, not a monkey. One man treats us like a donkey. And it says throwing words to the former president. Now that he is out, what do you feel about the recent government? It's a rumor that that's what you were doing. So you get to understand, yeah? It's a rumor.
That guy really quoted a real song. I did that open mic.
Yeah, you see, sorry, but neither be the question. I like them because they go and do research, like, but nobody understands. I'm not gonna get it. I'm a code CD. Seriously.
I mean, the person actually is a follower. I don't know if I'm not being the boy. He's a real follower.
I have a good team. Kudos to me. I have a good team.
The people are lit.
They're lit. Mona smalaje artist rumor says you never bobu rumors amandega na ako. Mane ha. Ajilade.
Borom kanya yo.
Lola DJ Kadu dewa DJ Kadu na uno yo every day kare.
I mean, I did that song. I'm not if you've been following ENC as an artist, I'm not an artist that would be doing more of those social or government type of music. You get me? I did that because there was an urgent need for to some stuff. You know, it was not even like a song recording. It was I took to actually speak to the people. I mean, it's a long story which I might not actually have to go and share about that performance. I mean, I had to be a part of the voice. That way, that needed to be amplified at the time. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be like I chose a route to actually stand on to be doing government or to be, you know what I'm saying? People need to be in check and people need to be checked on. But I mean, it's not my type of music. I mean, then the urgency of the state situation it was needed, so I did that. You know what I'm saying? Since then, it was just that. It was just a performance, and then and nobody see confidence and courage to actually be in Gambia. Because at that time it was not normal for an artist to go on stage or come up president. That was very risky, as we would all say. You know, I mean, even if you were gonna do it, it was more like subliminal shots. But straightforward and doing that. And people were communicating crazy. I mean, so you could tell that they needed to hear that. So I took the risk and I took the job onto myself to do it. And I was ready for whatever I was going to do because I was I'm going to do it. Because Biniman played a week before open mic. I performed on Biniman's concert. So I actually did it. Like I saw the crowd response. I'm like, for event like open mic. And then, you know, I did that performance. And then, yeah, but from there on, the rest is history. Yeah, so about the current, I'm not gonna go through the politics and all of that.
Yes, you know, I'm not Salatam. So you said you like the questions. See, we always like these questions when the person is related to that. So having to see you do that back then, we thought, well, you know what? He sang a little bit about the government back then. So what does he think about this one? But like I said on this show, if you don't want to answer something, we just respect it. Or if you don't want to talk about a certain topic, we just respect it and move on to something else. ENC, the next question is, we saw you. You are a good friend with ST. Your relationship with ST, just then I'm getting a collabo between the two of you. Of recent, just then one or two artists came out to say how they feel about him. People took it as throwing shades. Other people took it as he is one of the biggest Gambian artists or the top man in the game, and all of them are trying to get to him and to bring him down. So maxi bir game bi wala nga neka place ñu bari dañ ut boss pour tudala pour ñu am boss bi ñeneen ñi ne ñëpp dañ ko bëgg xex pour yaxa ko because mo amé Gambian music industry bi ñeneen ñi ne ñooñu seen voice la ñoo wax liñ feel lañ wax there's nothing wrong about that. You're having to be someone who is close or not, we will say not very close, but def nga mom collabo hang out nga mom def nga things up with him. No, just say the whole situation that's been happening recently, the whole backlash and the whole drama that's been happening regarding ST. Do you think that everybody's got their eyes on him to try to bring him down?
Well, I mean, I'm not too good at being judgmental about situations. I'm not gonna say a word about. I think nobody just on there was recently one of my interviews that was out and actually saying something about ST, how friends we are and all of that. I know many. It's like it was done after the ST and Smalls thing. That was done before your interview. You know what I mean?
Glad you clarify that, because that just the Motamade was so important, because you're better. I will not want any chance to say that on any platform, but today you are here to make sure, because someone watching that would be like, ENC is a hypocrite. Now look at him saying this after all this backlash. So it's good. It's good. Yeah, go ahead.
Before that controversy between Smalls and ST. Now here's the thing. I'm not that artist, that person that want to see people under the bus. Someone says or someone does. To me, I treat everything like opinion. People have said the worst things about me. I'm giving you an example. I'm one of those dissed artists in the dancehall. Man, I'm talk a year. I'm about 9, 10 this over the years. The Maran talk about again songs. You'll be surprised. That's how I treat it. I'm like, that don't even know me. You only see my image on TV or on show. That about ST and Smalls. I think ST and Smalls have been really good words. I'm just gonna jump in here right now. I'm just trying to put shade on someone, right? I say, ST that I never want to put none of them in the situation. The little I've had with both of them, I respect and cherish that. You say, I'm not close friends with Small, but we've been really good, like co-workers, like artists, like respect, like big one. You know, after that, I'm gonna leave it after that, like respect still stays. You know, ST Suma Gila, come like I've spent a lot of times with ST, like those musicians. I'm gonna mention it on this interview. So much make it together. Do they even think about music? Because I'm not respect the level. But I love. He shows back that love too without music. So like if I'm making someone I've spent a lot of time with, I'm gonna have a lot of memories on his side. You yet together, we've all had great times as musicians, and I want to be that person that can kick back that kind of love to come back to the industry. It's been there. Come and take ST, let come forward, bro. You get me? And I can tell the reason why ST has been comfortable to do stuff with Smalls, because they had that relationship as well. So man no more close like ST. Maybe ST's been close with Smalls as well on the other side, like a triangle. So no matter what I would say, if I don't try to preach love, gigante nyomnya, then no matter how much I know on both sides, then do they relevant on media? No matter how much. Understand?
Yeah.
No matter what I hold, it's not for the media. It's for. So if I'm gonna, so if I can, I'm not chance to actually sit with ST to. Anyway, ST, what was that? Monday, ST, right?
Definitely. Definitely. He's got a selective mutism. You can never hear him say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like problem is only a problem. Today is a back and forth. Someone is saying and someone else is saying. So then I'm gonna treat it as small opinion about ST. Cool. Second example, no talk. And this is from the media. No talk. More and his disappointment and his don't feel about God. You know what? And I respect, I listen to what he says. And motive is gonna be bring back the resurrect the law. And I'm gonna advise him from my side as a brother. I repeat, so fake and a man talk me, you don't have to do as brothers. What we used to share about the music. What all you put together, right? I might say if that thing is out of context or a misunderstanding, I'm like, oh, this might be misunderstanding, this might be that, but don't integrate it. No love for them. That was going to be my position. So if it was like a thing with Smalls, was ST, was small to get ST, this I'm gonna try to find a way where we all come back together. Just for more.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I wouldn't accept me as a person, in the middle of something, and I see obvious bullying, obvious something that I don't accept, I don't respect that. So I'm not part of this thing. I clear up. That's how I'm gonna. You have your opinion. Fine. I have my reservations. Beautiful thing. The other person is not saying anything. Then show I'm popular card. But this used to be beautiful. Boy, like Malawa time, ñun artists yi boy ñun ñëpp dafa melni comme we like the same mom and dad, bro. I remember when ñu dañ daan 8 o'clock 9 nga boy. The first thing for like definitely is going to studio shy. Da nga bëgg studio shy boy nga tok. Nga chapa tis Smalls mu ngi tok, bari bunka mu ngi tok, broki mu ngi tok, ma ngi tok, psycho like all the hardest names like you could mention. Da nga studio like you're gonna see us in the studio and the music then artist for the boy folk fi so ko defé ni and mu embrace ko and like that love man lola miss, you know. Getting into a point where we can celebrate a lot of things now. That music changed a lot of lives in this country as artists, bro. But I'm on a time boy one thing there.
Yeah, definitely.
Time boy, Jeffy boy, it was not like anything about money. I'm on a time boy, Tamburo sauce la. I'm on a pass then you dock them studio. So if music, what we represent, them the big change the status for us. It's about time you throw a party, throw all celebrate life. But that's my mind. Come together. We toast to good life. We toast to growth. We toast to what's next. What projects can we create for the next generation? What effort do we do for this country? Then do the man key. Yo, like the Mare Hatter, I'm like, we don't need that. What signal are sending to people that are following us? We become like a game they're playing. When we having the remote to that various countries going to, but we think to play us as adults, bro, as established. I'm talking about days you have, bro, like that are never supposed to be never come there move still there. But I'm saying I'll go. Legi parents, Bugana gis doma muneka musician. You sometimes be an artist like there. I'm gonna give this example. I know nobody don't do this. I don't want to mention others. Like people take things differently, but there, I was the first person to take them to radio to interview them. I exposed a lot of artists on my platform. I don't need to be in my house and say, "Kid, if I'm not going to more deal on you, be like, it's fine." People do things. Sometimes people act. You have to understand, people will act not the way you think they should act.
Yes.
Once you understand this, come you will have.
You take life as it is.
Yeah, I mean, like come but man, like when I see two great people that could do better together for this country. I find the need for, man, can we make it happen? Like, what can I do to make it happen? So, problems down, I'm going to try to solve the problem down. If I cannot solve that, I'll allow it to slide on to the next. I wouldn't change the state of the respect and love I have for you from a distance. So, feeling as it's about time to celebrate this music, to celebrate this, the music I've done for us, for New York. After time, Gambian musician, is 300 people to show. And you around it. So then 300 people. When we started to give them Alliance Francaise, there was a show that people were having confrontations. No, Gambian is not with Alliance. Because those numbers weren't even there. We were going. So it was noon, let's say the noon, the G's, the Baribunkas, the Estes, the T Smalls, and all. It's noon that took it to upon us to change. When we start again, a new alliance, when you buy the alliance, the people move, the like a Q City arena. So think of this track record, you know the progress that have been made by young. You know, it's gonna blow me like when I sit back and say you create rule Facebook or social media throwing shades or disagreeing on unnecessary things. It is about time we just I just an artist, my pull up, my pack, I just go and respect. Boy, I hook you up. Listen, I've seen you and me coming up from way back. Bunga in the studio. Manayo, Tasena, Yado Almotobunas, Mangedo Almotobunas, from music or from something. It doesn't even have to go to art into material. But the stage, that's what I'm trying to explain, have grown into the order. And I see that, I respect that, I'm happy for you. If I can contribute, I'm Nyari Moto, I will do that. You know that this industry and this industry is giving you that. So I'm not going to disregard the blessings of the industry. You know, create logo. So I think we should put more focus on that. Music or ST and small thing. I'm not from the area where we can put a lot of more positive energy to grow it. We start fighting. To start fighting for it. We must start the move, and you tell me disagree on something, drop. So it's like it's gonna be a roller coaster of every generation have to go through the generational course to break. Because we already have that power. Let's use that power and export this country. But I think I can on and on, but I have respect for this artist. Small is a legend. So there was a time this country, like you have to mention T Smalls as an example, fam. Understand? He created platforms for artists. He created things like, you know, you see him moving with a lot of bunch of artists. Oh, people can love him for that. You cannot take that away. So if I remember those greatness or that greatness, and still, right, I want to see how that greatness can actually be together with ST's greatness to stand for something. I'm not like, you know, like I'm not cool with that, bro. I think we need to bring back the love, man. Love goes a long way.
And I'm not like I said, I like to have mature artists, mature people, whereby Dingamuna use something to educate or whoever is in that situation or haven't been Dingamuna deglu and you know what, learn from it or pick something from it. ENC I'm the solitary, and I think that like one issue that we have as Gambians, most of us, I would say 100% of us, is communication. Basically, I will have an issue with ENC, or I will see something happening with ENC. Ma catch ko suma cool, ne ko suma side, like schools, like Johla Road, ne, hey, like mold you as this certain person, the Ninga Leg, instead of communicating. And this happened recently. I will just use Jalimadi as an example. This happened recently between me and Jalimadi. I misunderstand something that Jali did, but it is regarding law hamne dama dem si mom like something mom so I misunderstand that. But again, I went to bed and asked him, I said, why did Jali do that? But when I woke up in the morning, I'm someone that communicates. I said to the person that asked me to ask Jali, I said, you know what? Man, I'm not the Gambian that hold grudges. I go and ask the person what happened. And when they tell me, then I'm not communicate, I understand it. Demia would know Madega his side of the story. And I took my phone and I said, this was just last weekend. I took my phone and I said, hey Jolly, no, I'm a message, how are you? Fine. I think he was sleeping, he replied late, and he replied me later. I said, well, I wanted to talk to you about the issue that happened last night. And he called me and I asked what happened. And Jolly explained, just come up explaining. He put me back to, oh, it's all right. Yeah. It's not what I thought. So, and he said, Aji, I'm so happy, call nga mga lette mo nila niti de ame problem ak nila niti de jelan test industry so ma degale dara wala nga fagal madara wala nga gisal madara, you have every right to pick your phone and call me. And I'm telling you, after that Jali fixed it and said, well, it was a misunderstanding because something will happen overnight. And I was so happy that I communicated. And to be honest, when Broke even came to this platform and spoke about the issue between him and ST, I asked, have you communicated with him? Have you guys sat down to have a conversation? And I think that this is where we have an issue, most of us having to sit down and say, hey, ENC definitely, oh, this not ENC Jikobi, or ENC Degal na kodi. Aji sasoko Degal is something. Kola Aji, Aji, hey, so my sister da. Ni ak ni la fademe, da no la fademe, or lila de. I think this is where we get lost in the process. You am grudges, while doing demalantel, you buy and to sorry what. And I think one thing we should know again as Gambians, people grow out of each other. People grow out of each other, because sometimes when I listen to the stories that happens, I'm thinking this person have grown out of this person, and this person is not seeing the grown out of it. So you just want to be stuck in that. I don't just do shows, man. I listen to learn, and I look and I understand. I observe, and I say I'm very observant. And most of the stories I hear is like, oh, this person have grown out of this person, and it's so hard to accept. The accumulates. This is what happened. So I think I'm solo about again having to have you as a Gambian musician. What a question that they're important. You like them get make for ENC models what please.
I will give you one scenario here.
Guys, come on over rek suma yaram neexut fan yi kañ depuis Friday moo tax fan yéen déggu leen ma woon ma noppi. Even with the VIP ticket, I couldn't come out and say, hey, I'm not giving out the ticket anymore. So, like I said, if you guys don't hear me, I'm in the maximum in my corner doing other things, you know what I mean? So, again, Vesby is from Sala, and I think the Gambians, ENC, I'm glad that I have an artist who have the youngest industry. And I think that these questions are really important to be thrown to artists like you. Punga muna faram faja, nyumuna deglu yo, fanga halate akno jise.
I mean, I want to give you an example. Normally, I'm not the guy that would bring a lot of things to the media, right?
Sorry guys, come to Malenko here Gambia la neka, get understand it. Network we will have it playing around with the jumping lights. I'm gonna need them and fat did them do you. Yeah, okay.
I mentioned that other video. I'm on a time like me actually together like almost every day. Honestly, I'm not the outgoing type of person a lot of time, but anybody when I was general, then I get a TV, but of course I would bring it up. And I remember at the time, me and ST had a little gap. I mean, this is some funny stories I'm gonna bring on the internet to actually try to prove a point. I'm giving an example, a reference to thing, right? So we had a little gap because of I believe there was some misunderstandings on sites, right? Bro, I reached out, bro. Them take estima your mom talk. I remember, so I step out, we go into we see him as brothers. Bro, come, I'm this kind of person. No matter how much they need, from this level of host, everybody they have. Come, we will joke and say everything to each other. We can talk about anything as guys, right? But couple of little rules, everybody they have.
You've got boundaries.
So you I'm serious, do the serious. So I call I'm gonna buy a farm, boy, don't mess up feet. I come feet, and I what I thought ne last feel, and I spared that out, and also gave him time for him
process.
Feel Muntam lalla feel what was understand, and bro, nobody alive heard about this. From after that conversation, there was no single person alive because that was not even the reason. The reason is we cool and just little gap like come yo fam like Manila field man lila field rated. We cool, elbow it up and be out. Move on. And then what was going to happen, even if he didn't understand or didn't accept or I don't accept or didn't understand what he was saying, we were going to just give that the respect and move our both ways and allow it. Because certain have to allow them the way they are.
Definitely.
But is key though. Sometimes you're in your mind, in his mind.
This is what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sometimes walls up. But I mean, communication is, but trust me, to me, I mean, love and we want love and movement for this industry.
ENC loolu am na solo rek comme ni nga ko waxee di ko bamtuwaat man I always say this, I'm human, I make mistakes, but this is where Gambians would mun naa dégg sax ñu ne ENC moo wax lii wala ENC lii la wax si man instead of mu ñoo laaj la sax dégg na loolu rek mu block la mu unfriend la wala mu commencé di la woyal these songs wala mu def la enemy. You see the problem is that yow am nga that channel of communication with ENC. It only takes you to pick your call and say hey bof but I'm got that relationship, you know what I mean? Come to ENC, yo man ma yo depuis 2011 2012 I'm only human but the arbi ñoko boka I'm part of it. Mun nga gis aji lum def sa okay, let me use this as an example. Singate Rice when they went to Norway they couldn't go to Germany because of this visa issue, but man as a presenter, as someone who's got a platform owner, need daf ma send video rek regarding what happened there. Singate small while we are bodies rek ma post video bi. But then Singate saw this video and he got offended. But man, how ma lu xew man then must send rek ne aji postal mali, because I always do that for all the artists, promoters and everybody's sale. ENC, believe me, I shared this. Singate got offended. So the next day he called me and said, you offended me. And I said, what happened? He said, Suma waiga aji. He said, Balango don't post ling la send or Balango don't post linga post. Why? Hamnan obvious then mako send. Dang no no contact because I'm in that relationship and you ask me if it's okay because it jeopardized my job and my work. And I was not expecting the digga def that move. I was thinking that you would do a smart move of communicating with me because mawanga. Understand? And I was like, oh my God, I'm sorry. And I apologized to him. And I said, I made a mistake. What I'm going to do is go back to my platform and take it off. And I came back to the platform and take it off. And I apologized. And he said, I know. And I said, I'm only human. Man, how under the ground, I don't know. I am just sent to say postal, just like you would send me something and say postal. And there is where the person got offended. But what namako, instead of with my enemy, or buy ma. Hangaluma mean. So nit you know like that put nga gis aji post dara sa nga fokk ne meaningfully daf ko def fekk aji xamul sax ne am na lu xew dañ ko wax ne postal comme pour man maa ngi support nit ndekete mu ngi offend keneen ku close to me. So I think that this is where we get lost in the process. Duñ dee xam communicatal aji xamutoon lan la def waxal aji ne fii dafa mistake, because I always tell people the last person I want to offend is people that are close to me, and I think this is what is happening in the industry, because a lot of you don't communicate. ENC def na ma ni or ENC kii la dee àndal fii la far léegi dugga na fële sama tijaay, and you hold on to that grudge in your heart and you never move on, and we need to communicate. ENC loolu am na solo torop, like I said, your artist bu yàgg nga si aar bi ñu wax le ñu waxtaane lii dafa am solo. ENC, the next question is ENC versus Maha, ENC versus G, ENC versus Silky Chris, ENC ENC versus Rura, ENC versus Gypsy Joe. It says ENC is a very controversial artist. I never knew this about you, Prof. Really? Yeah. So, why do you think ENC is mentioned? Why do you think all these artists mentioned you go heading forward? Why do you think all these artists were coming at you, heading forward towards you?
I mean, but I don't.
But wait, is this true? Or were you mentioned?
I'm trying to figure out. I have never versus between me and any artist, right? I have had these songs.
It might be a rumor, so let's see what happens.
I've had sentiments from some, which is normal in industry. To me, when it's coming from both ends, when someone said something and another person said, and said stuff. So once it happened, then there has never been a versus. And I don't know where me and Silky Chris never had no altercation. Like we never. I know Silky did a couple of songs which I can't even tell you this.
It says you're mentioned. All of this lot mentioned you. It's not an issue that you have between them. Okay. They mentioned you in a song.
I still cannot tell you why someone would mention me in a song. I know that Mohammed at this song, and it has never been an issue. Nobody ever had to it, Maha is a dancehall artist. People know what dancehall is. I think that people never saw Maha coming as an artist that would actually make this song to me. Because if you check Maha's track record, I was a DJ that would play Maha the Hammer 4 or 5 songs of different songs every week.
I love Maha.
So maybe people might have actually even thought that he was my artist before he did this song. So I'm just saying, because there's not like we once had an issue or something, I mean. I've never had any musical issue with any musician in Gambia. No one person. Never happened.
Dominic Bumaton. Some just been oversized. The one now they call medium. Should have been small or extra small, but I'm size would out.
Love Mahadi Hamas. That guy is so talented. Yeah, I'll be sitting and feel like he deserves a lot that Gambia should give him. Which happens to a lot of artists. Super talented. I'm not gonna sit here. I once did this song to me, so I come here to put him under the bus. And because the first thing I'll let everybody understand, man, I will never have that back and forth with any musician in Gambia, because what I stand for is totally different from that. It's a point where Manakio, we are very cool, and then me and you agree to actually have some fun in the music. That's fine. But I'm a very respected figure in this music that I don't even need to say that. I've never been into this kind of man. I started my music as a war artist in the streets of the Gambia. That's where we started. But Muhammad will never pay anybody's bill. This guy in music. All this all this it will never pay. The man I'm focused on my bill. I'm so focused on that. And if still anybody actually feel the need to do a song to call my name and your artistry, that's fine. I could call just when Maha's song come out, I could, yo boy, your song bad, you know. I'm that kind of person. I swear. Reason why I didn't do that because you know what I mean, like this song I went into actually start calling my family relationships like you know people, and I feel like music wouldn't actually make me. I'm not gonna be a reason where someone else next to me gonna be disrespected. I'm really a platform of me where other people are gonna disrespect others next to me or around me. So I'm gonna extra distance myself from it. Understand? That's the only reason I didn't even call Mahan and say, yo, your song bad, you know, do your thing. But otherwise, I call Mahan and say, yo, did this song bad? I was going to that, but I just slow and give time to play it out. And then you have to understand why me, I don't involve in this song. It's very, very old-fashioned way of music. And I'm too modern. And I'm too intellectual, way ahead of that. I mentioned if it's a point of let's have fun, near you agree, that's fine. But what I see, the money nitty boy, you guys send Jabari, send Yai, send. I'm like, why need to go into someone's family life?
Toxic.
Like, no, like we are, like, come on, definitely not songs you have, and they're gonna come out this songs. Well, who's not perform taste because of currently under 15, 16 kids new the attention shows league. Come on, understand the way I different like
you select for me your language. The
family you perform before, you languages I used before. Legi I even use those because those songs have outgrown this generation. Our audience is very young. Our audience, when you come around Gambia here, them are you sitting at in a concert, and then you see the crowd. If you're a mature, sober person, you're gonna have a sense of belonging, a sense of responsibility for
society a lot.
Exactly because of send yai, send uncle, send daddy. My partners in some offices. People I'm working with. People like I'm speaking for this generation. I differently matured, not inspire them. And the same man, Mawar this avenue like understand that like man that don't pan out for me. That I cannot get around it. Because here's the thing, man, I'm very raw in everything I do if I have to go out. Go in a lyrical war. Trust me, it's not gonna be nice. I don't have this time they say eye for an eye. Like you punch me, I punch your eye. I don't have that formula. You punch my eye, I go for your throat and your belly and your stomach and everything. Your intestines are out. I don't have limitations to that. Why music? Where I stand and where those kind of music goes to, no. But that's a talent. I respect that. Man, study music. You can recall. I'm a platforms person. Upcoming artists started creating platforms where other artists can benefit. The reason why I see beginning interview Malawan and I saw you in a place like Go Food, they would say I'm from Go Food. When I was doing monthly shows to help their primary school kids. I was an upcoming artist. I was having a social responsibility since that time. Events for kids and middle-aged people because in Gambia, our country is not catering for that demographic. Kids, we have to put on fun. Places, they go to clubs, they go to bars and drink. You cannot take your kid to certain places to see certain things, right? How do you them? They don't have something that would actually, they can recreate and have fun and stuff. We're not looking into. We actually too much dissolve into our consumed by our some moral kind of thinkings that we don't really understand. I'm not a bad impact. When you go and you break out and you stubborn become criminals because growing up, I wouldn't go. Honestly, I've had that sense of responsibility since then. I'm still giving you reason why I this music and doing bad. I don't really understand. I started this thing since 2000 and end of 2009. I was doing this in communities. And that platform was Fofla Habe Nyancho, Nyancho was just a dancer then. A super Nyancho today. So, bro, people like Mighty Joe be coming on those platforms before to perform. Because Gambia, I'm not one where people can just go and perform and hunger, you can pay a $5 or $10. Reasonable, it wasn't about the money. Growing up from there, man, Alliance Bumo Ibi, our generation, I was the first to bring Alliance, a show in Alliance, bring all my friends, most of the artists today, both perform for free, Nyom STU, Nyom Jibu, like, the Mare Tomo flies, the Mare, like, boys were looking so young, we were full of love and life, like, we were about that. I'm not come here and take my use this little hype to destroy that. Dama am a mission in the music, and we all have different missions. So I'm not going to let that distract me. I have a drive that I'm driving towards.
You have a sense of direction.
Yes. And I'm not, nobody is going to distract me from that. I will respect your opinions and what you say. That's fine, that's you, but I have a direction and I'm heading to that. I've built that. As I was doing all these things, I was on the radio as a DJ. Why I take Gambian dancehall music, but I'm going to say this on this platform as the first. Then I don't even have time to go prove a point to people. This is why they got to know Gambian dancehall musicians on radios and stuff because of ENC and they on radio again. I was the only person that had a 100% dancehall show for Gambian reggae dancehall artists. And all the artists you mentioned, I religiously played them. Then you have to listen to my show to hear them. I play your one song, your two, your 5 songs on top of each other every week on Gambia's biggest radio station, West Coast. When I talk man, so much energy and my hype I have, all those days, man, get touch upon my man, get all over this country. I was coming in. I still chose to go and bring these artists on radios. So I heard you mention Silky here. Ask Silky Chris, who were the first people to put him on a live band show?
He's watching.
Yeah.
He's watching.
There is no single artist that would say ENC that might disrespect feed. Come, I don't know, you know. When I was doing Park 6 second year anniversary, I just made one in my phone because Silky was the only one that jumped on my back on the live band.
I like Silky.
Bad
I'm a fan.
Bad artist. Listen, when we were going to Venezuela, Mananyo Mandimori, was when I first knew Silky. So Atenola came. I knew Atenola first before Silky. So we were in Jakarta doing some live band training. So I was chatting with Atenola. So I'm doing a song like that. So he played that song to me, The Beautiful Star. Boom, I was like, yo, whatever, bad. From there, I know, my next backstage show, man, I'm gonna invite this brother.
Oh, bless.
On that show, Silky was the only artist that performed on the band with me. Which I'm on every other artist on that live band. But live band training, I don't want enough Harleys to sponsor that. Was invested by a small own Harleys are gaining. Put them in organization. Not even a sponsor. Understand what I mean? I might was here and there, but it was mainly on me. So fair here, understand? So that was showing you like the love I have for everybody. And then even if them na be just na come meet I'm na reservations of heck na halat na likely I just go some bomb and watch and be like, okay, maybe there will come a day then told for you and a conversation and where you will know, oh, you had a misunderstanding of something. And month I just laid back and keep my elderly spirits, and I'm cool. But nobody. The last time I spoke to was we were together like had some minutes like going around already, and it was no bad energy, you know. Like, me and Maha same stage, you know. I had it done so that Maha was on the stage with me, you know. Maha came to perform, and he called me on the stage. It was love and respect. Yeah. Even see me post those videos to look for clout and things. I'm different. I'm not made up of this social media generation. You know, 3310 more. I'm on mobile 3310. I'm on screensavers. and print from internet cafe, guide them type of sending. How understand? We have songs before CD. So do man you be and then try to dig down, look at me, your next generation. Like I know anybody who does it fine. Like that's not me. If I see if I can add value to what they do, I'm a businessman. I'm man. Like I think that way, you know. If I can add value to what they do, let's all make money together. But I've had a lot of my time spent to actually create platforms that will support a lot more than just me. That's how I came in. So basically, yeah. And I had you mention Lul Ra. Ra, we were very cool until I don't even know what happened. I swear.
Ruler. They say.
Like come and nobody would tell me come ENC Villa Madam. Like come today I'm Tammy. Please y'all have my numbers, but send me a message.
He's a keen follower of Agies Corner, and he supports me. Rura is one of these people that supported me from scratch. To be honest,
you know. Ra since he was in a crew. I mean, like you know, long time. You know, African youths or something. They had a crew like that. Ra has his talent and stuff, and I actually really believe he have a drive where he wanna get to, and he have. Like I really see him on something that he can spend more time on to actually develop himself, and I really believe he's doing that. I see him doing productions and posters and stuff. I haven't got the chance to tell him this yet, but I mean that's good. I was together with Ra.
You can say it here.
Then Hussein Dada album launch, album list party. It was together, you know. He was producing filming, and nobody would ever tell about energy from good. Like we would say, yo boy, and you like cool, like me some boy. Agi, if I feel something, yo, I wanna do something about. I'm gonna reach out to you. I'm gonna tell you, and I will get it to you, you know, in a respect. But I understand music is music, dancehall. Sometimes that's where some people express their feelings. I never take negative. If I'm disrespected, that's where I went totally quiet. When I have the chance to tell you, and then we, but it has been love. You mentioned Jibu. Me and G never had problem. No. G is like one of my favorite rappers. You know? G was one in an album. Modern G and Boy. G was one artist. Come imaginally. Boy, you know, you guys are going out for a hangout and can play CDG, Simoto. Come on, I'm going to artist. Mangi hot, mangi touch up on mind. But we show love and respect. I don't think Jibu is one artist that will speak his mind.
Yeah, of course. We all know.
So come on, the problem like come. You said what you want to say.
Opinions.
You want to something about your next minute in your network, get answer coffee, get move. That's fine. I've done some G's one artist. I have G on a song like 2 different times. Like the 3 album, me and Jibu had a song. One of my favorite songs called Get It. Yeah, I called G for that song, and Ray he drove to my studio. Song la ko don feature fofu non de but dafa do ga studio mu dega song bi man no record song go mo I was listening mo mo boy man song bi sala like bi
mu change
bobu la feel there bobu that time and trust me fast fofu la G bi les skills am tap dugal nako war and it's right way back sometime I had G and Jelly Mario one song and so I mean like maybe people can, you know, I'm the Gambia. People can say, well, Jibu is one out of it. They're going to friends like or something. But love, spend a lot of time together with Jibu around black things. Because as I'm on the times reading, they spend time together a lot within the industry. So I'm like, no, we don't have that.
That's not Kena. Gypsy Joe. I don't even know this one. I've never heard of him. Who's that? Who is Gypsy Joe?
This is what artist love. That's maybe people see something on the internet. That's yeah,
The thing is, dogumala fofu, when people see you with certain person, or they had you coming out don't play, or don't different mom, any interaction they don't see anymore, then this is where the rumor comes in and the intuition to say that something happened here. Yeah.
So my last moments with Gibson, Lamot Amade mentioned my last moments because that explains Gambian stuff, right? The last moments with Gibson was he used to work at GT Bank, not far from my house.
He an artist or was an artist? I don't know this one. I don't know him.
I haven't heard him in a long time.
Okay.
But he's right. He used to work at GT Bank.
Okay.
So he must have learned the man never call what you wherever he go inside I'll come back and I'm done. At some point of the man you buy for some transaction and he'll keep the money, I'll come and pick it and come. Yeah, so it's gonna sound like news to me. I keep saying, oh, those are artists I play on my shows religiously. Like, I want to move. Like, I don't remember. I'm not just mark any artist. If you have reservations about man that I don't know, that's fine. So I'll keep that opinion until when we have a conversation about it.
ENC, I respect you for that. This is why we bring you guys, because normally hate that again or but people would say, oh, ENC aki or ENC aki or ENC. So we always go and try to get things that people are saying or see a background or something that we come and ask you a lot to, because from the horse's mouth, having you to sit here and we ask you these questions and you said, hey, neither them or I don't want to talk about it. It's really important. Who would have taught the ENC or some would have been like, after the show, be like, what the hell? How did this come about? Like, even me reading this, I'm like, hey, ENC, general, yeah.
I used to have these songs more, but Mari am these songs and then Magina them show what I say Aris I don't take that personal.
Yeah.
If you go disrespectful. But
yeah. I'm solo mbiri arbi mbiri this be or being disrespecting an artist thinking it's good for your music yena say dafa de muna yaha as an artist yena say dafa de muna yobo as an artist or put la in a roller coaster ride but you got stuck somewhere. Well, I've had a lot of people saying at this la boka, and to be honest, some Gambian music fans will tell you we don't like to see Gambian musicians fighting. Some will like we like the energy, we like the toxicness, because people like toxic in it. So basically, you as an artist, we've seen the this upcoming artist Mohammed Sahamdane attack Monica on top, who said that Uche, ST, what's it called again? Yenen artist you munuta mention. Let's say Barhama, other artists you have like right now, so or you si top be you got or Mufokne, okay. So madam attack Hussein or Jizo, that would make the whole internet crumble down. Some music would have had them somewhere. And we've seen people make other upcoming artists believe me, this is how you're gonna do, but what you're gonna do, or this is the right route for get famous. Yo, as an artist who's been in the industry, once neck on the position, bobu you also am ENC like them all to get that cheap popularity, and this is where people don't want to do hard work and go in the music in the studio and do their own thing. Instead, they target a particular person to get famous. Yo, langa ampurwa regarding that, because like I said, someone watching you will be like, I want to be like ENC someday, but the Fabuga give the shortcut, the cheapest route to be like ENC.
I mean, anything cheap doesn't last long. For your talent to be defined by someone's response, that's more like a talent. For me, actually call someone's name, answer back to me to be validated, that means more like a talent. You are talented, you know your strengths. The beginning interview, as an artist, know your first press gas on the strength. If you are low expected for that strength, you never. I'm going to give you one example. This Malamo that Munge sold out all his events lately. He don't even have it. In the club album, doing one of the biggest tours right now. A couple of months ago. he was about his story and his struggles and find that was what people received from him. That was what for make it entry. 50 Cent said first. I want to give you an example. Like as an artist, different and all part of the art and all of that. Just find a way to do it fine and cool. Don't just hide behind that. If you were creative to this song of an artist, create good music and sell your name. Create good music and sell your brand. They'll you nowhere. They'll for this artist you were dissing. Give yourself 5 years later. Check your artist board and this. What's your relationship? Don't be a short-term thinker. Let's say, yo, make us a brand about this artist. Man, he different. Like, understand? I will give you a task. Best being again, I said they can get them international tour. Perform for crowd. What's perform? Yang perform audience boham yo kinga amun ko. Yo, sa song, sa own song, kind of play for us. Yang to the Kenneth. You have a concert for yourself to perform. You go and make fun, entertain. You don't even have songs to perform, but your biggest song is a diss song. You're not gonna be proud of yourself. That means you're the only who must your king artist is present. That means you cannot live without that person.
Reliability.
Can you promote Coco? This. This was the reason why I had a run in the dancehall. I was not the most talented dancehall artist. That one I can't wait. That one feel like they think I'm bro. They don't understand what I'm doing. I'm not for learning. They were like, man, working with me would even give you easier run than this in me. Trust me. Like I swear. But I'm a kind of musicians. Kind of genre. They are the industry. They have battle industry within the industry. Those artists are there. They are battle artists. Almost a job. Gambia among that space. Killer is the Cypher and his crew. Cypher is very empowered. Hamga. Very well. Munyeka like Hamga. I'm a lot of partners, a lot of investment, a lot of good money. Let's say at the end of month, an artist going home with $200,000 because of they can tell a story and they can battle. They just play with words on that night and that's done. They don't even need to put that on a record because it's a battle industry that it's there, it's part of an industry. So Gambian what the I'm understanding Bobo. Viewers, sorry, I'm not going to read comments. I'm not checking.
It's all right. You don't have to. You're talking to me.
Yeah. So, well, I'm saying, go and do a little background check. You'll find out rap. Go and look up someone called Cassidy. This generation don't know him that much. Man, one of the finest rappers in America, right? You don't see him on the billboards and doing shows. But battle, he's a battle rapper, bro. He's done a lot of songs that, but battle, that's him. It is their small part of an industry. So if you are there and put choose, Gambia fee like someone talented like Lil Ohms, you not them to a point you feel like, oh, you know, Gambians not even support. Because they're supporting, but they don't know where to place some people. I look at that guy as one of the finest battle rappers to ever grace this country. Which I'm on an industry, I'm not a battle with him for no come artist and find a living. I'm not a lot of countries. So mainly they take it from Senegal. Fine. But we have to understand you cannot see commercial music unless you both are commercial artists that have your topics that you can go back and forth and do some fun and move. But typical example of Gambia fee. I'm with any battle will make noise than T-Smalls and Jimu's battles. Confronted or altercations. But if you ask them, Lala guy make from that. If they're going to be honest with you, because things go to a point it gets almost physical or even beyond that. Them na ben nasty. So, and as an artist, bu fekkee yooyu noonu yëpp. And I repeat, any battle bu ñëw Gambia buy egga that magnitude. That was big. But just nga bëgg they die out without even having a concert of those two for them to score 1 million. So I have to give up the battlefield. So I'm if it can work for anybody, fine, man. I respect that. But don't actually base it on someone have to respond to me to be validated to be an artist.
And that's what many do.
I mean, like,
ENC, I'm not solo basically. It's literally telling me again. This is where I say we Gambians, I think it's the awareness. Many of us, again, does not think long term. We don't have long term goals. We only think short terms. Like lan moy happen today, but then on the wrong one, lan moy plan B and where do I want to head? Like again, having a sense of direction. What path do you want to take, and which is really important in whatever you do. You need to have a short-term and long-term goal. And for again, ENC. This one is a rumor. Rumor has it. ENC has literally stopped singing recently because you got affected by the by open mic being stopped because most of the time the time that we had the ENC is because of the open mic. So because open mic in the first step, more than we affect some music, we had less of ENC recently. So can you clarify that for us, please?
I married before open mic. Open mic then might just me over. If I was not gonna go to open mic. They played a vital role in artists like me. A platform where a lot of people knew us on. You can't take that platform, and I wish it can come back. But because of what mic stop, which event was one of the biggest, best of the best. You knew open best of the best. It was only last year my performance. Some artists stopped or took a pause from singing. You could tell from what was their last product. What are they doing? Do they even have songs? You can tell. Like go and check my last songs. They were way better than the songs that made me. Times being in the those are the times I actually made it to BBCs, not just little platforms. So I'll on BBC, Times being those are the times when BBC had to fly in all the way from Fofun New Big Feed do documentaries with me. You get what I'm saying? I never had and this are not in Gambians. And right now, I request you might to do international tours more up than I used to have before. So no, like this. If you know your artist, you know your artist. If I'm your artist and never run out, like it's a decision they make. Like for example, someone like you cannot tell that he's out of the race. When I know that in a day he can do an album, you gonna give him that. I'm on that time. The talk every end of the day again. Yeah. So you gotta check, like you gotta cross check. I mean, like it's my choice to actually wait for when I feel it's right to put out this new music that I have. As I mentioned earlier, if any music, if I cannot face my audience, I'm doing the songs for. That's important for me. I'm not a comic artist that need some. We made our name organically before switching. For WhatsApps and this, before looking good on the ground. Like, alhamdulillah, we grew with people that genuinely love us. And it's up to us to choose what to do to actually get those people back again and the new followers and all of that. So, alhamdulillah, it's my choice to actually, so if I'm not doing something related to the art, someone actually say, I'm still here doing something significant or something important to what I when it comes to being an artist. People support my business, bro. Rent the limousine, man. Yeah.
Businessman la artist la. Fum neka business mo konyor. Dem lenga support business am.
And in a week time, you get a container of iPhone, car wheels. Yeah, car wheels.
Ponda bangi bori. Ngem dem jendi ponda. Pondo.
Yeah. You all need to change your tires and your wheels, bro. We have some cheap coming in a week time probably. Come and patronize a whole container, bro. Yeah. Then my graphic designer, you know me, I do the best designs. I'm changing the face of sports in this country. We're doing it. Support my business, you know what I mean? So I will market it that way, you know what I mean? But I mean, definitely I know that people miss my new music. And I'll serve you, inshallah. Madam a little time, but let me just be done with you.
Medical time, dafa war a liggéey xaalis tam pour dugalat ko si biir industrie bi. Du dee demee noonu.
I need to. And the platforms I post them as well. Need to rejuvenate those platforms, and it takes investment. So I had my time. Let me put one or two things together. I'll be back with you guys. You guys know me, bro. Like, I'm not talking about your Facebook like every day singing new music for you and putting it out and then download for free. And you know.
ENC, I'm not solo. The next question is gonna be we will wrap up soon. You know, a rumor has in the ENC that refused to be on one of the most famous rhythms, which is the low battery rhythm. And if yes, you refused to be the rhythm when it was when they spoken to you about this rhythm, what was the reason why you refused? It's just a rumor, so it's not something that happened. Low battery.
I know that there are a lot of rhythms that sometimes we reach to you. I'm low on time to voice them at the time. I know low but rhythm. I'm trying to remember. Can more produce. It might be true that I was invited and I didn't finally get on it. It's very possible because that was not the only rhythm that I couldn't get on. A lot of rhythms. My closest producer at the time, like stylist, I'm not going to gain effect, I'm not on it. And he's my personal producer, like I can say. Understand? So it might, I just need to remember like what. These things are more than 5 years now, 6, 7 years. So you can't remember every little detail. I don't hold negativity here to try to remember something negative.
Yeah.
Right. So I might forget. It's not,
that's all right. You're only human.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
ENC, my last question is going to be, but later I will ask you something about your career. My last question about rumor is, people have said a lot of rumor that Wasahalat is not a fair award winning what is it called again, award winning ceremony organization, I don't know how to call it, or event which happens every year, and this event is host, you are part of the organization, and it is the main host of this event basically is an ex-wife. So people have said a lot that what Sahalat is not fair, the way you do the voting and all of that is been selective, or you already selected who would win, the bias. So what do you have to say regarding this?
I'm not part of Wasahala anymore.
Okay.
Right? And then when I was part of it, I was more on the logistics side.
Okay.
More organizing side and the graphic branding side and all of that. But one thing about the awards is and what many people would say many things that is probably based on insinuations. Yeah. I would have a team. Man, time I was there, great team of people that would go like sleepless nights to go through find everybody justice is served. And very good platform that I don't like the way it's going down the drain. Like Gambians would kill some good things and just like how went off. Trust me, if the award, if Wasaharat award goes off, and then you know, like look, I can be here because of my ex-wife and try to bash the award or shit. Like that's not understand what I stand for. Everyone is what I stand for. We need platforms for us. People have reservations and things they are pleased about. For my life things, can we find a way where Gambia can say a petition of we want to have audience we want to have audience opinion, like let's say, I'm giving you an example, like some big football teams in the world, the fans have says because they have a registered official fans club, and we have a space where we can have the audience can actually say something. They can be a part of some opinion making, because that process will let you understand land more they happen behind.
But you're forgetting something. In the Gambia, no one is entitled to their own opinion. Then there's a problem.
Yeah. But I guess Lumarage online is because of many people don't understand and the gap of communication. So that would make it more complicated. But Munuma them deeper because I'm not there. I haven't been there for the past 2 years. I don't know what's on the ground now. I have no clue. No clue yet.
ENC, I think that, like one of your fans said, I feel like I'm having a mature and a deep conversation with you, because so here relates. Like Gambians, most of the time they don't get an understanding of something. That brings me back to the show, because when people give backlashes about this show, I'm like, you don't even understand what the show is about. So I get it, so I give it a deaf ear or a blind eye, because I'm thinking that it never said a cold sit or a calm sit. It said a hot sit. Like, bro, it's like sometimes I think people just come at something when it's just common sense. It's just said a hot sit. And coming up on is the sense of understanding or finding out to know what is this about. You just want to go and say, okay, you know what? Gambian, most of us, we have a problem with something. When they see it, they got them. Yes.
Yeah,
they would break it to a point where many of us were distractions. But whatever you're doing, Gambian because it be distract, like then you then last shift to a place where I'm the Google of them. That's why when I even get backlashes about the show, I give it a deaf ear, I give it a blind eye. I'm not gonna respond to irrelevancy, because the show is based on something, and that you don't understand. Well, a society we own is new to Gambians. You will have an issue with it until that's settled down to know. Oh, okay, we don't do background checks.
Yeah.
We don't. So, which again, whenever you say something, it's like, oh my God, lilu jara faram fanchala pour Gambian, because the moment they come tell you, pour faram fancha, pour people to get to know. Sometimes when they say the hot seat did the show, I'm like, bro, it's common sense. It never said cold water. It says hot water. It needs to be poured hot on them, bro. Yeah. Jesus, I don't understand. Why come no like ñun lu baax loo xam ne dafa ñëw si society dafa add dafa indi value. We have a Gambian dafa am problem si luy dem lu yokka wala li fit foog mu dama ko. ENC loolu bring us back to the end of the show. So balaa ñuy dem ENC, I wanted to know, this is a question from me, not even written here. Dama bëggoon nga jox ñu just a quick summary of the worst times you had as an artist and the happiest moment you had. Just a quick summary of your worst day as an artist and your happiest as an artist.
Oh boy, how do I answer this?
It's called a hot seat. Go through your travel. This is a question from me. Take me through that journey.
Sometimes the dependency is exposure level. Man, sometimes the little simple things are the things that amaze me. The big things are, you know what I mean, are the normal things to me. I think my most difficult times was when I was doing my last Europe tour. I mean, I don't know how people will understand this, but people that are used to shows there, and imagine you perform on an event, and your next flight is about 5 a.m. or 6 a.m.
Okay.
You perform at even when you want to get close to that time, but your flight
you have to rush to the airport.
For a while, just rush back to the hotel to fake like cool. They fake a cool low because have not catch up this flight. The flight will move them for next show. If you're late, you might miss that show. Don't know how to handle that. I was on road with Master Lion because boy, you can have me big boy. Man, Munuma understand you can have me, man, I cannot do it. If you're an artist and you privileged to do tours outside, even if you cannot fly with your road manager, please have a road manager. You're gonna be traveling with Europe. It's because someone have to actually keep, let's say, cooler book for a show. Because when you book 3 months before, 3 months before flight ticket bi dafa gën a cheap. Understand kooku book na ticket waaye xëy na in his xalaatut ne kii fa war a am next show the next day. bu foofu show am la xam so doo ko dee blame. So if you don't have an experienced road manager that time, for mu xam arrangements, moo tax nga di gis artist show mu ngi am crowd ba ngi fees at artist bi ñëwut. That things today. So it was so tough for me. That was that I don't bro. Dama di nekk supply master mu ngi wax ma ne pat du ma dee wax mu ne général you do wax ba ñu waxtaan. Man maa
problème bi duñ benn.
Man ma xalaat dafa uti ma ngi xalaat pour ñibbi Gambia ma ngi xalaat pour that was too much because I was doing about 15 cities. That was too much. I was like, this is a nightmare. Then like boy, winter season, yeah, because that was tough. But at the same time, within that same hard time, the excitement, like them you play. You see, tuba, you know, I was on train for 4 hours. Yo, Europe.
Yeah.
Yo, hamga for a jail 4 hours. Muduga train, kumunyo siyo. And that time, you don't do Gambia, say munga pagal them show anytime.
Yeah.
What a programs are show. What do you train 4 hours? Munyo, your city being a play. Move a ticket and it's like jail picture. That appreciation, that's something that I cannot know. I cannot actually how I was feeling when I get to bump into those kind of people. Then I perform fee. You have to get them play Italy this part. They go on like you fly ahead of you. You have a CCTV. That I'm not kind of they're literally traveling with you. You get to see and you know what I'm saying. And I remember in 2012 when I was performing them on Venezuela as well. There was an autograph, you know. I was like, woo, autograph, like, you know, I can watch it from these tall balls, you know, again, they're guarded by some MPs, like some very tough soldiers. Come on, man. Again, and you have to audience, they know and this, they don't know you, but they ask me to give Africa, when you to entertain, and they're looking at you as a potential big, you better this Munna blue worldwide, I'm not autograph. That's how much they so yeah, those memories sometimes were like, yeah, you know what I mean? And the place like the buses, the Bansans, like, yo, I love them, like meeting people, you know, getting to chat with them, getting to see how much they love your music, reminding you of things you're there for. Those are nice though. But top 4 is hectic. Yeah, Sakasowa did have many shows. Those nightmare those scares me. And if you're doing 15 cities, means like you're flying about 30 something times. So let's say even in 1 month, go and fly like 30 different planes. Like, hey, no, I can't. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much time, and yeah, it's not fun. You know, but people make it fun because of when you go through your struggles. That's love, you know. Yeah,
ENC loolu am na solo torop ENC mboolem artiste bu ñëw si show bi balaa nga dee dem dañ na dee wax nga woyal ñu because daf dee tense torop so balaa boromam dee dem dang ñu war a woyal. I was gonna ask you if you've got any projects coming on, but you said you want to focus right now on business, so that question is irrelevant. It does not need to be asked. So balaa ngaa dem.
Album bi dafa nekk lu pare.
Okay.
What I gain is my album because what I distribute. I just remember you was last time boy, don't get the album.
Yeah, definitely. We miss ENC, you know.
I can put out my album anytime. But look, let me give you this example. Do you understand? A very big song with Attack. The song is over 2 years now.
Is it? Why is he waiting for? Lawyer.
Just understand.
Okay.
Understand me. Man, decide to keep.
I'm not talk the second.
This song I have with A2, but pay like I feel like one of the best collabos out here.
Okay, he's coming to the hot seat.
Yeah, get him. Like a couple of songs you're gonna go like nice, you will love it. Trust me. It's up to you to put them out. Just go to sleep.
ENC mi ne ngeen xaar tooga na ko bam ñor léegi amu saani jimbo or anything léegi xoolal yekk wàccee anda bi rek ñu lekk ENC ñun sa talibé ñu ngi xaar soo demee.
But I know the people are really bringing me back. Sometimes I go on TikTok and I see people doing some of my old. I'm like,
you're like, bro.
I'm like,
seriously.
I was not in pain, inshallah.
Yes. Si loolu am na solo torop kenn si sa fan si mu ne balaa ngaa dem moom dafa request song ba pare mu ne Nyamba Kawas la bëgg nga woy balaa ngaa dem, and to be honest Nyamba Kawas is the song that made Aji love ENC. That song, oh my God, it made so many of us, a lot of us, to fall in love with your music, and man, I'm part of that passing. So before madam, we requested for Nyamba Kawas. Nga menu Nyamba Kawas ñu wrap up.
Hey, me. Put on the Gucci till me tired. Nike Air Forces till me tired. Anything we put on, a real designer. Yeah, we are the grinder. Tell them not tired. We get the canvas and Timberland. Designer Adidas, Adi name brand. Bad man number one. It's a Gambian fashion. Everybody love the action. We roll with the Nyamba. Hey, and the television we roll to. Take it to Pluto. We take it to. Hey.
Mga remember time what type of awesome because you was a Nyamba Kawas naman ahangkay. Kino mo wala represent. Full of teklohom.
My then song is paying reference to Nyamba Kawas. People will. I think that's the next week though. It's called. It's like Yabutma, like talking like from these brands and stuff. Yabutma from Christian Dion, from Yabutma. Nyamba and so Yabutma.
Yes, yep, correct. Yes, thank you very much. That brings us to the end of the show. Come you're one artist man like I said, they call you lot the old artists or artists back in the day, but I think I belong there. To be honest, I've got a nice relationship with all of you, and it's been back then. So like I said, people like you, it didn't have to take me that energy to have to chase you back and forth. It took me only a message on Instagram. You sent me your number and I was like, okay. And to be honest, we arrange you coming to the show for the longest. This is why I tell artists, some of them would just call me and say, I was like, okay. And I'm like, I'm booked until the end of December. They'd be like, no, in the next week. I'm like, bro, it does not work like that. Do you know how many artists are waiting for almost 2 months? You can't just jump them or disrespect them for waiting that long. And ENC, thank you for your patience, for having to wait on the show. To be honest, like I said, I sacrificed a lot to sit here, and today I just had 3 injections today, but at the end of the day I said, you know what, this is passion for me, and having to wake up the floor loft the data muna sawar, and I think you took me through that journey, and I feel better having to sit here and do this show. It takes a lot of sacrifice, trust me. I'm wara dem liggéey wacce liggéey ñew tok wala ñak febar ñew tok diko def just the love of it mo la de may that katan pour nga mun ko def mo wax la jërëjëf nga tagoto yow it nga wasa gaay jërëjëf ma bay la nañ wax later. Thank you very much, and thank you for everyone who's watching, shared, and who's gonna come and watch next later on.
It's been amazing, man. I mean, sometimes it's beyond just let's sing. It's about let's communicate, let's chat, let's have. I mean, end of the day, whatever we do here, we do it for the people. But I'm a person that don't expect people to understand everything from your first of saying. So it might take some people 10 years later to understand what you said before. So I give me some never had the chance to listen to me for a 1 hour length of conversation. This is the first time I mean, you're doing a great job. I mean, like, thanks to the fact that Murunga Lennon right now, you know, but Talunga back home. There's no other feeling better than that. You know, I mean, being still connecting with the core people, especially people you started together with, and then connecting that to recent times. Not anybody. You know, you have to have something special in you to be able to do that. So you're an amazing lady. Keep doing what you're doing. You know
that since back. Do I change? Every day I want it. I don't change. I must change. There's nothing that change.
I mean, but it's love. I mean, you have a powerful platform. I mean, let's say for example, things like the smalls and estate thing. You have a powerful medium where someone like you can actually be with them off the record, trying to see how peace can come back. I mean, it's very nice as well. And then you doing this book ahead. You know, I mean, this is something that people I see people screen recording your shows and putting them on TikTok. That means people are following.
That's what I said. Every time I wake up, man, my face is everywhere on the media. I said to myself, I'm tired of seeing this face. I don't look on the mirrors anymore. The one they said to, because I see myself everywhere.
You're doing a great job, but people are having information. So we just grow that to our next level, and then people are demanding that means you're doing good, you're serving well. So it's up to us to support your platform and then add more. And then it's okay community jote, but it's okay jote and then for a reason to come back. You know, I mean, whatever you do, you have a lot of people that depend on you for their future because they're so you need to take that sense of responsibility and seeing and we're doing for our country. Yeah, so I mean, boys, it's a pleasure being here. I'm not gonna apologize for anything wrong because I don't think I've done anything wrong. But I'm gonna thank you guys for being with us throughout. You know what I'm saying? Just keep following, man. Just keep following here. And thanks for it's been a long interview, but I mean it wasn't boring.
I could I feel the chit chat but once more, but they get along and I'm like this artist shouldn't go because they're saying so much sense. I want to listen and I want to listen. Come guys, no ko de waxe ENC maa ngi tag page am bi te gis ngeen ne moom la join fii dama leen de wax the little you can do is go and follow your artists and know their updates and to drop a song ngeen xam project sam yum nekk business am bu moo def because lii yëpp xamuñ ko woon waaye now if you go and follow and then know what they're up to because sometimes they bring a little bit of what they do in Instagram dem leen follow ko TikTok. He's still got his YouTube channel. Lila, they're not asking for anything. They're not asking for much. Follow and the page is right there. Manko hi, tag, and this is why I tag the artists when they come. Click on the blue highlight and follow them. And have a good night, guys. I will love you guys and leave you, Mobile and Bethany. And thank you to everyone that supports this platform. And again, the Saturday be and again I event put them len get them support and artists. I love you guys and kiss.